course, we'll be spotlighting business, as I always have on my broadcast. But Chef Patrick MoJo will join us, and he has his own platform starting soon on Spoonie Radio.
Spoonie Radio, 24-hour food talk radio.
Can you really talk about food for 24 hours a day?
I could, but even I don't want to listen to myself talk about food for 24 hours, so we will have...
Somebody will.
Someone will be on the air 24 hours a day, talking food, fun, travel, culture, and more than anything, food.
Hey, it's Brad Staggs with big news. MoJo 50 is coming to you and to your town. It's all part of our way of helping the veterans in this country. The MoJo 50/50 tour is 50 states in 50 days, and we're traveling across the country in a bus. I don't know what could go wrong. If you go to MoJo5050tour.com, you can find all the details, including to tentative stops and how you can be a sponsor. MoJo 50/50 tour, MoJo5050tour.com.
Adjust your mojo now. Thank you.
The mothership has landed.
Doc Thompson. Brad Staggs. A mighty MoJo 50.
An inmate at a maximum security prison in Kenya underwent surgery to remove a phone that was stuck in his rectum.
Rectum?
If I don't begin today with the story about a man getting a phone stuck in his rectum, I'm going to lose it. Because there's a lot of stories out there that I'm right on the edge. The only thing that's got me stable here just a little bit, that's going to keep me going, is starting with the story about a man getting a phone stuck in his rectum, and the knowledge that it's Friday. If not for those things,
Wait.
I will...
Whoa. It's not Friday. Today's Thursday.
I'll lose it!
Oh.
We're going to assume it's Friday today, at least for the first couple of minutes.
That'll work. It sounds like a great Friday to me. I thought it was Tuesday when I got up, so I'm going with your Friday.
It's not Friday?
No, it's only Thursday. I know. It's the week that won't end.
A man got a phone stuck in his rectum. Can we just focus on the positive today?
And again, was it a flip phone or was it...
I hope it wasn't a razor.
Hope it wasn't a 7 Plus.
Regardless what it was, it's a chocolate now.
Yes, it is. I see what you did.
He used to have a phone that was brown on the chocolate and razor and whatnot. Yes, Brad, he had the phone in his rectum to conceal it.
Well, that's because they never think about checking your rectum
They
for a
think that
phone.
all the time now.
No,
they check that.
that's the thing that
in prison, rectum's known as a pocket. That's pretty much how people look at it. A purse, a bag, a satchel.
You know, we need to invent the next place to hide a phone in prison.
Hi, it's Doc Thompson with your anus satchel. He was new from Ronco.
It's the rectophone.
It's much smaller and more lightweight, more compact. Hi, Grandma. I'm in prison.
And loving it.
Wow. He was trying to conceal it, but it backfired when he couldn't get it out.
Oh.
He suffered with severe stomach cramps for 3 days, excruciating pain. And when it finally became unbearable, when he could stand it no longer, he reluctantly informed the guards that the phone was in his rectum. They took him to the hospital, and it was surgically removed. He is recovering in the aforementioned hospital as we speak.
You know, they probably knew it was up there from day one. They were like, when's he going to tell us?
There was a pool, the office pool. You get to work, you're like, did he crack? Did he crack?
He's got any minute. I mean, he's turning yellow.
Look at him. He's got it. You're walking real slow. But who's he going to tell? The poll is who's he going to tell, right?
Yeah.
So you're walking slow. Damn, they passed the jail.
How did he get it up there? I mean, think about it.
Shot? I don't know. I mean, he put it up there.
Well, then why wouldn't he come back out?
Somebody get a running start? What do you mean? How did he get it up there? What do you mean? How?
Well, I mean,
he shoved it up there.
Okay, so why couldn't he just come back out the same way?
Brett, sometimes that area will swell, which is a misleading term because it's not so swell.
It ain't so swell.
It is not swell at all, especially when you have to have it surgically removed. How is it? Swell? Oh, great. No, not at all.
Wow. I imagine that's also one of those things that
It's about leverage.
Getting it in. I was thinking having
getting
the
it
phone
in versus
prison.
removing it. No. Getting it in versus taking out. There's leverage. There's like how you're going to get a hold of it.
What I always do is use fishing line. If you tie fishing line around anything like
It
that,
is right back out.
Yes.
Something like that. Yeah. I imagine if you're trying to get it, when you put it in, it's probably dry.
no way. You're not putting anything in there dry.
No, the phone itself.
Oh, well, no, you can't. No, it would have to be all slickered up.
No, the pathway is.
Well, why wouldn't you slicker up the phone too?
Because you need to be able to hold on to it.
Oh, yeah, then that's like chasing a fish.
It's about a grip. It's about the grip, Brad.
Right.
But when you're trying to remove it, you may not get the same grip.
See what you did
So
there.
leverage,
Right,
grip, all of
right,
these
right.
things.
Right.
I believe it was Archimedes who said I could move the world if I had a large enough lever. Was it Archimedes, Brad?
I believe it was.
I'm paraphrasing, of course.
So many of his things really were so
Was
low.
it Euclid?
It could have been Euclid.
That just sounds dirty. That's getting a bell either way.
Here's looking at Euclid.
I don't know if that was bell worthy, but darn it, I was on the
sounds
cusp
like it
today,
should have
so
been,
it's
yes.
just yeah.
Well, that's your problem. If you stay on the cusp, you'll never be a winner.
Apparently, prisoners are notorious in Kenya for scamming people with phones in prison. What they do is they text people claiming that they're to be their friends or business associates and ask them to send them money.
What?
Apparently, Kenyan prisons
No
are filled with
way.
Nigerian princes.
Wow. You mean so they're not legit?
I'm not saying there's not some that are legit.
Because I mean the odds.
saying that, you
The
know.
odds are one day one of these is going to be real.
What sucks is for the real Nigerian princes.
Yes.
They can't get any damn
I
money.
can't get any respect.
I don't understand. I'm trying to give them money. Nobody will take my money. I need this much help, and I will give them $5 million. They won't take it. Is it not enough? Show you how those Americans are so rich. I don't know what a Kenyan accent sounds
I think
like.
I
so.
think you nailed it. I think
like
just
that.
keep talking like that. I think that's it.
They're so rich, those Americans. They don't even need $5 million. I hate them.
They won't take my money.
$6 million. Offer them $6. $20 million. Okay, offer a percentage of the $55 billion. And I feel horrible for my cousin who's stuck in space and cannot come down. He too would be willing to pay $5 million.
Can't get a ride. All he needs is one person to help him. Damn it.
All right.
This is all right. That it. Let's wrap it up and get on out of
Call it a day.
Yeah.
Good night, Steve Cannon, wherever you are.
because I could go back
How
to
do you
sleep.
follow that up?
Yeah, that's
Well, I have some stories that we have to get to, some things in the news that are pretty important today. Before I get to them, I may need just a little more here. A little.
would that be APR coffee in the cup?
Sure. Sure.
It's
Let's go with that. Let's assume it's APR. I will say yes, this cup does contain
Smells like
at
bourbon
least
in
some APR American Pride Roasters coffee. It is.
bourbon or scotch.
Yeah. It's got to get you through a long, long day today.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. That's right.
American Pride Roasters coffee waiting for you at AmericanPrideRoasters.com. Quite simply, the best coffee you can purchase.
In the
It
world.
is
In the universe.
Amazing, huh?
It's the best in the universe.
Can you go ahead and bust it out all
Yeah.
LaFontaine style?
Hang on. In a world. That's it. That's it.
Come
That's
on,
all I
you can
got.
do a little bit more then. Work it out. Let's go.
In a world where coffee. That's it.
Is needed. I mean, a little more of a script there.
All right, hang on. In a world where coffee is needed.
Now you got to yell at the producer
Oh.
because somehow it's wrong.
That's right.
So,
Damn it, where's Bob? Is it? Get Bob on the phone. And if I have another one of these stupid dead dog stories going into an up-tempo record, get him on the phone. Right? And where are those pictures I was supposed to get last week?
In a world where people don't have coffee and they need it, along comes American Pride Roasters coffee. It's available for you now
That was
at
good.
American Pride.
Is it?
That wasn't done.
Sorry. Keep going.
At AmericanPrideRoasters.com. Arnold Schwarzenegger may drink American Pride Roasters coffee. Ben Affleck may too also drink American Pride Roasters coffee.
Bruce Willis.
Starts Friday at a theater near you. Remember when they used to say that?
Yeah.
Hey, I think I could do those commercials for people.
See, I think there's a future in that.
Interesting.
They make some good money.
Right now, American Pride Roasters has a great deal for you. For every $50 of a handful of flavors that you buy before the end of the year, they're going to throw in a $10 gift card absolutely free for future orders. There's no limit. The Burr Hamilton, that's the blueberry donut hole coffee. Alexander Hamilton was such a douchebag. Can you imagine if they said, hey, you future, they'll make coffee after you? And he's like, oh, my gosh, that's awesome. You're going to share it with Burr. Right?
Yeah.
With Raymond Burr. The guy who played Barry Mason, you know. You're going to share it, and it's going to be a blueberry donut hole coffee.
Which just sounds funny.
He would be so pissed.
He would be.
Then there's the Peahat Matt. That's the peppermint mocha and the MoJo 50 unflavored full city tri-blend coffee.
Wait,
Any
what?
combination.
Say that again?
Unflavored full city tri-blend.
Just sounds like that's a lot of words.
It's very sophisticated.
A lot of words.
Just go to AmericanPrideRoasters.com and try it for yourself. That's AmericanPrideRoasters.com, the official coffee of MoJo 50. All right.
Remember when you used to order coffee? It was either black or it had cream in it. That's it. Have
I
some
always
coffee.
ordered mine black because, well, I don't even know if I can say that now. I prefer to say coffee of color. Is the way I so want to do that at
Me
Starbucks.
too.
You know, let's do that. Let's do that to Sarah. Let's go to
I'd
Starbucks.
I'd like a coffee of color.
Yeah, and just because
can't say black.
right. Well, because and watch their face and just because they'll go. I'm sorry. I want a grande coffee of color, and how about is those blueberry scone coffee of color?
Yeah.
Well, and you lean in, you go black coffee, black, just black. Gotta do that.
Oh, God.
Can you imagine if it was a person of color that you say that to, and you're like, you're making me very uncomfortable, sir. You're making me uncomfortable. I don't think I can tell you.
Is there someone else that can help me?
All right, I'll say it. And then you just bust out the N-word. You just throw it all out there. All right, perhaps we just move along now. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. I've been warning you here. The House and Senate have reached a deal.
Oh, good.
To change the policies on sexual harassment and make lawmakers liable for their own misconduct. Are you familiar with the story?
What? They're going to be responsible for their own?
Well, remember how it used to be.
They had the big old slush fund up there. And
right.
The slop fund, as they like to call it.
Yes, tens of thousands, wasn't it the hundreds of thousands of dollars a year that they spent settling with people who claimed that they were sexually harassed. And by the way, some of them actually were. And these congressmen, both senators and representatives, would use your tax dollars to pay off claims against them for their misdeeds. And this has been going on for decades now. Now, they have reached a deal to end that. So today, Doc Thompson would be like, woo, good, we've got some good done. However, there's a little more to the story.
Oh, good. Yeah. It's Congress. You know there has to be more to the story.
Did I tell you about the guy who had the phone in his ass in Kenya? They've been working on this bill for 7 months.
I'll bet they have. Night and day.
It took them 7 months to say we're not going to pay off people when they claims when they harass people when you do wrong.
Well, you don't want to just
7 months.
You don't want to run into that stuff, just all crazy like.
7 months from these people, mind you, that both Democrats and Republicans, most of the Republicans would say, hashtag me too, you're right. I stand with you, sister. I understand what it's like. That are out there campaigning, protect women and girls, hashtag me too, pussy hat marches and all of this nonsense. Those people who tell you it's that important. The people who lead with this stuff, that have campaigned on this stuff, not just on this bill specifically, but on we've got to protect women and girls and hashtag me too and wear it like a badge of honor. It took those jackasses 7 months to pass this. If you had asked them, would you please prioritize what's wrong in America today, and you as a senator or congressman, what you were going to end up doing, what's important to you, I would be willing to bet that some sort of protect women and some sort of identity politics and diversity and all that crap over the last couple of years would be at the forefront.
You would think.
Especially with Donald Trump saying, grab by the hoo-ha and all the campaigns around 2016 as well. And we need a woman as president and all of that. You know this would be one of the top 3, 4 things on their list. Yet, we didn't find out about it until somebody reported on it, even though they've known this has been going on for decades.
Yep.
Didn't tell us. Happy to have us paying off the bills or the claimants.
You didn't expect them to pay them off, did you? Come on.
Then 7 months to say, okay, we're going to stop this, right?
Yeah.
Even if you go, well, Doc, that's not how D.C. works. You got to have, amendments and hearings and blue ribbon committees and whatever. No. If it's this important that you're going to put this out there in the media ad nauseum, that I can't get away from this stuff, that we are looking, it's a witch hunt. It's the boogeyman under every bed, around every corner. That it doesn't matter if somebody is actually guilty. It's just, it's a claim, so we got to take them down.
Yep.
They can never work again. It's that big, yet you can't simply say, all right, other senators, other 99 of you, this is bad, right? Okay, add a couple of where-ins and therefores, write it in big cursive language, lettering,
And sign the
font.
damn thing.
But we can all vote. I'll give you like 20 minutes to whip that up. Excuse me while I whip this up. Right? Just
You would
sit-
think.
All right,
Yes.
just stop, everybody. Now, who writes this? You. Write it.
Write something down.
No, we'll wait. We'll wait. Are you done? What do you just go?
Should take 2 seconds.
Go get me a coffee.
Of color.
Listen, y'all. You got about 15 minutes to get your last harassments in under the wire.
It's Harris.
Sorry. And then, okay, you got it? Oh, sign your name. Good. Send that over to the House, will you?
And get them to sign it.
I am not kidding you. This is a 40-minute process.
Yeah, they set the stage. For years, they set the stage.
I'll give you a week. It was an election year. Hang on. I'll give you 2 weeks. More than enough time. If it takes you 7 months, then shut your mouth about #MeToo because you don't give a crap about that stuff. You don't actually care. It is just a marketing ploy to get you and others elected or bills passed or to drag somebody else's name through the mud because they are a political opponent. 7 months after all of this has been going on. Was the 7 months just so you could wrap up your affairs? You don't want to quit cold turkey.
No.
Listen, Senator Staggs, you've been diddling like 5 pages. You have 6 or 7 other harassment claims. We're going to pass a bill where you're going to have to stop that.
Whoa.
No, listen.
No.
We're not going to make you quit cold turkey.
Oh, good. But I don't have to quit the turkeys too, right?
No, you can still have sex with them.
Good,
because,
All right. Because after a while, those nubile young interns, they get...
Because turkeys don't talk.
Yeah, that's right.
Not if they know it's good for them.
And those talons.
So anyway, we're not going to make you quit cold turkey, though.
Good.
We'll give you like 7 months to wrap that all up.
Oh, crap. Can I get a year? Because it's going to take me a while to wind these interns down. And the
Can
turkeys.
you get a year? Can you get a year?
Come on, just a year. That's only 5 more months.
Tell you what, will you give me like vote on my bill to give like $200 billion to my wife?
$200 billion to your wife. Yeah, sure. Why not? Why not? That'll work.
Now, as if that's not bad enough, that it existed, and then it took it 7 months. Now they all wrap themselves in, look at the good we've done after a 7-month do the right thing bill. It took 7 months after decades of them going, what?
Thou shalt not diddle.
The new rules were not released in full.
OMG. What rule could they... How bad could the rule be that they don't want people to know what it is?
Can I help you out here?
Oh, I wish you would.
Based on, I'm using history as my guide. Based on history, I would say the reason they did not release the full legislative language yet or the full details of the bill is that there will be an addendum that basically makes all of these seemingly good moves pointless. Can I, before I finish here, reference a historical piece? The former majority House leader, majority leader of the House, Eric Cantor.
Right. Cantor?
I didn't even know her.
Yeah.
He stepped to the floor of the House. It had not been gavelled in recess.
Right.
It was one of those where there's just not... there's just not enough in there to actually have a session type thing, whatever. I forget how the rules work when it comes to that. But they didn't actually gavel it, in recess.
They're just all hanging out.
It was a Friday afternoon.
In the chambers.
Friday afternoon. He steps to the floor. There's only a handful of people around. Makes a motion. Nobody objects.
Was it this
and
motion?
Passes. It was that. It was a very fanciful motion.
Good. All right.
And the motion was, hey, remember that Stock Act that says we can't trade on insider information that we made a big deal about, that we, the Republicans, and yes, we're going to change this all. We're going to go make some exceptions for relatives, like our wives.
It would be funny if it wasn't so pathetic.
And, by the way, nobody objected to it. And it passed.
That's so weird.
Yeah, with all of them heading to their home district.
That's so strange that no one would
Which gave them all a pass because they supported. Nobody objected.
Wow.
I don't even know how you're able to manipulate that, but that's basically what
bizarre.
happened.
Wow.
So they made a big deal. So they can still insider trade. Things that put, thank you, that Martha Stewart went to prison for.
Right.
Same things. And they have even more information because they're privy to contract
They
information.
deserve it. Why do you keep bashing these hardworking Americans over the head?
So the new rules were not released in full, leading me to believe that there's going to be some things in there, some addendums.
Oh, there's going to be some things in there.
Addendum 69 says that all of the aforementioned rules and regulations are
null and void.
null and void.
Yep.
If you can prove that you were born on a day that ends in a Y, like Wednesday, Friday.
You see, they all end in Y
Exactly.
that way. Yeah.
Now, the Senate says that even though they have not released all the details in full, the lawmakers will be required to reimburse the Treasury Department for settlements and awards resulting from harassment or retaliation they commit.
I see on your expense report here, Senator, you've got $1.7 million going to a constituent that you, holy crap, can you even do that legally in the state of Delaware?
Reimburse the Treasury Department. Reimburse.
So they're going to pay it.
Yes.
They're going to pay it, but it has to be paid back.
I don't see any problem with that.
Well, but the fact of the matter, they're going to pay it to begin with.
Right, that's hey, Senator, we paid this and we're waiting for the reimbursement. When can we expect that check? Is that
I'll next pay. I'm between paychecks, right? Look, I got housing to pay for here in D.C.
right? It's expensive, right?
It is not cheap. I can't be paying this off and have my apartment at the same time.
Yes, exactly. Now, they may mean, well, they're going to have to reimburse them for claims made against the government. Like if you sue the senator, then you sue the government, you sue whatever. Okay, I guess that's, but I need to know the rest of the rules, right? Paul Ryan said, we believe this is a strong step towards creating a standard in Congress that will set a positive example in our nation, but there is still more work to be done.
Shut up.
I hate that guy. Now, this compromise would extend protections to unpaid staff, including interns, fellows, and provide opportunities for accusers to work remotely or request paid leave.
Wait. Hold on. The accusers. So while they file a suit, and while the suit is in the process of being heard, they can either work from home or what was the other option?
Paid leave. Paid leave.
I'm going for paid leave.
You don't want to work?
No.
Because you can work from home.
Nope.
See, under the work from home, you'd get to be at home and work.
I can, and under the paid leave, I'd still be able to be at home and not work.
Yeah, but
be paid.
But you don't get to work if under the paid
Right.
leave.
Yes, I'm good with that.
Let's get this. Both of them, you'll be at home.
Yes.
And both of them, you get paid.
Right. Yes.
But one of them you work and the other one you don't.
Right.
And so you want the one that you were.
Yes, so I'm not working. I like that one. I can sit on the couch. I don't want to work.
I thought you said you want the one that you're not working.
That's correct. I want to sit on the couch, get paid, and not work.
You realize you wouldn't be working then.
Yes, I'm good with that.
So you will not be working.
I will not be working. However, I will be collecting that paycheck and the paycheck on the couch at home.
There will be paid counseling available to accusers. Or counsel, rather. Counsel.
Can I get in on that one?
To the accusers.
Wait, what? Oh.
To the accusers. The people who accuse the congressman, they get free counsel.
They'll get free counsel. Well,
so we pay for their legal filings. Is that it?
Good.
Okay. Senate staffers will have access to a confidential advocate who must be an attorney and cannot provide legal representation. House staffers will have access to full legal representation. In other words, we are going to pay for the accusers to file. Do you see the other side now?
But why?
Do you see what's happening?
Words matter in this, and what? Okay, yeah, there's a difference in there, but what is it?
Okay, well, here's what happened. We went from a reprehensible standard where we pay when people do wrong, congressmen, senators. Yeah. Now, all they have to do is accuse somebody. We will not have to pay for that, but we pay for them to go through the legal process, at least in the House, to get their money. So, and in today's world where you're guilty until proven innocent, it's just a payday that we are still going to pay for.
Unbelievable.
A mojo for every state. MoJo 50.
I'm Mike Opelka from PureOpelka.com. Here's your 2-minute drill. Can somebody anywhere please explain to me why Al Sharpton is allowed to sell his life story to a charity that he runs that will then sell it to someone in Hollywood to make a movie or a miniseries about the race-baiting charlatan who owes money to the federal government for back taxes and already has a show on MSNBC that pays him millions of dollars? Can someone please explain it to me? We learned last weekend that the National Action Network, the charity that Sharpton runs, that he sits on the board of, that he is also the president of, has paid $531,000 to Al Sharpton for his life story. Amazing, right? Absolutely amazing. So Sharpton gets paid. The guy who reportedly still owes the federal government millions in back taxes is getting a huge check for his life story, and then his charity can sell it. The charity will also pay Sharpton an annual salary for being its president, and that's on top of what he gets from NBC and MSNBC. It's insane. But who's going to buy the story? Who's going to pay for Al Sharpton's life story and turn it into a movie? Could it be Barack Obama? Let's not forget, Sharpton was the race ambassador under Obama, and Obama's got a deal with Netflix. The story continues. Be outraged. Testudo, my friends. Testudo.
Mike Opelka's 2-minute drill is powered by MoJoWildRice.com. Their wild rice is a superfood, gluten, sodium, fat, and cholesterol-free, yet high in fiber, protein, zinc, phosphorus, and trace minerals. But you're going to love it because it's delicious. MoJoWildRice.com. MoJoWildRice.com. I got to get some communiques coming up, but I want to make sure to stress what happened there at the end, okay?
Yes.
So Congress says we're going to change things after 7 months. Let me recap this here. And you are no longer, you the taxpayer, are no longer going to have to pay for the settlements when people claim that senators, congressmen did wrong.
Right, yeah.
But even in the best case scenario that we no longer will have to pay that, the pendulum swung completely back the other way in favor of the accusers, even if they're accusing wrongly, even if they're lying, even if they're gaming the system. So it went, believe all senators and congressmen and clean up their messes, whether they're guilty or not. Okay, gotcha. Then it swung back the other way. Now it's believe all accusers, whether or not they're telling the truth.
Because this will get support from everybody on the left in the Me Too movement. So that's all they needed.
It sells well in the media, right? So now they will be able to file a claim that supposedly, wink, wink, you and I won't have to pay for if it's proven, the senators and congressmen, when they pay.
We'll still pay.
But we pay for these accusers to go home and not work. A paid leave for how long? We don't know. I mean, the bill could say you'll get 5 years of paid leave because of the hardships, whatever.
Of course.
And
did you just say
hardships? Yes, and that was bellworthy. And then we're going to pay for their attorneys. So we're still paying.
I don't see why you think any of that is unfair.
So let's say the congressman did it, right?
I mean, let's just step out on that ledge and just say that he did it.
They did wrong, and we're going to pay for their accusers to be made whole.
Or to be homemade.
Right? It's still the same thing because we're paying for their attorneys. Now, there is a possibility, folks, as I said, that this legislation is full of crap, and we will still end up paying for it. We may end up paying both sides of this thing. We may end up paying for the process, the attorneys for the accusers, and then the settlement on the other side.
Yes. Let me help you out with it, we will. Yes, that's exactly what we will end up doing. We will be the ones bent over and not getting kissed.
And it's all marketing.
Yeah.
That's the purpose of this.
They're good at it. They are very good at it. You have to give them credit.
Communiques coming in now via the social media platforms, MeWe.com, Twitter, and Facebook.
Stephen English, I think, nailed it in 3 words. Sex with turkeys. It doesn't even really matter. MoJo's resident bronuts, Brad switched from Bugles to Doritos. MoJo 50 Radio is either turning a profit or Brad is moonlighting as a stripper at the Jiggly Room. What I do in my off time is none of your damn business. And
here's the
just so
thing.
you know, no, there's Bugles in the other room. We did not switch. That would be stupid.
Here's the thing. Brad has a problem. That's what sums that all.
My problem's name is Doc, and he likes to
That's
have
one of
all
your
of these
problems,
things here within our
But specifically
reach, right?
with those things, Brad has a problem, and he's become my my dealer, essentially.
The first one's free.
And that's what it is. And it's just I keep trying to get out, and he keeps pulling me back in. And throughout the day, I love it because I'm eating bad and it's good. And when I get up in the morning, I feel horrible.
No one else likes you. I'm the only one who loves you. I'm the only one.
All right.
The only one. I'm your
How
Nancy
do you
Squirrel, by the way. I'll gladly pay you Tuesday so I can diddle an intern today.
Right, that's
I
what
don't
it
know.
is.
This sounds like a good deal to me if I'm one of them. I'm all in.
What would keep you from? And remember, they've got confidentiality policies now, so no one will. It's not like if you accuse somebody, then it follows you around forever. So we don't want to hire Sarah because she accused somebody, a congressman, and you're done in D.C. No, essentially, what would keep you?
Which, by the way, was the name of her autobiography. I was done in D.C. Thank you.
What would dissuade you from filing?
A conscience, perhaps. Sorry.
How many people have a conscience? How many would? 10% would? 90% would? Whatever.
Yeah, that's the problem with Congress. It's 90% would.
Well,
thank you.
What happens is you go, okay, so I accuse somebody, and you're going to take care of my attorney fees and all of this, and I may get a settlement out of it, and I'm going to get to go home and just hang out and get paid.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Let's say it comes back, no, he didn't do anything, you didn't prove it. You got time off for free.
Yeah.
Oh, what about those legal fees? No, we took care of those.
It sounds like a great deal to me.
You're going to win as soon as you accuse them.
Yes.
So, but you may win big.
Absolutely. And not have to work between the time that you file and the time you find out if you won or not.
Do they hire 40-year-old pages?
I've already submitted my resume. That's what I've been doing over here. I will, I mean, would you take a good rogering from a congressman?
I'd take a bad rogering from we're talking for money, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'd take a bad rogering.
Yeah.
I'd take Roger rogering me. Roger. Absolutely.
So this sounds like a great deal, and I appreciate the good news for once.
So frustrating. That's just the beginning of our bad news today. Before we get to that, though, there is some good news, and that is how you can do some good and get a fantastic product simply by going to charitymagnets.com.
$2.5 million. $2.5 million. That's what the the charity Cops for Kids with Cancer has given to families.
Wow, that's nice.
$2.5 million. That's a lot of money. And it's all, or a great deal of it, come from people just like you because you went to charitymagnets.com and bought either a magnet. See, they were going to call it Charity Magnets and license plate badges and dog tags and keychains.com.
They didn't do that?
They thought maybe there was one too many S's in there, and so they just changed it to charitymagnets.com. But you can find great gifts, and if you order now, how many days until Christmas? Today is the 13th. So there's 22 days until Christmas. Today's the 13th, right?
What?
13?
22?
22 days, right, until Christmas, I think. Yeah, you have a very limited time. Go to charitymagnets.com, find yourself something nice, and get something for a friend at the same time or a family member. And we're not suggesting that the license plate badge would get you out of a ticket, but it might. It might. Just saying. CharityMagnets.com. Do something good for yourself, for your family, and for Cops for Kids with Cancer. CharityMagnets.com.
Okay, so it looks like at least one of those radio stations that banned Baby It's Cold Outside has now rescinded that ban.
They got a good whooping, did they?
Yeah, I don't know what the station in Cleveland's doing because that was the one we focused on, but other stations followed suit, and at least one in San Francisco said, okay, we heard from listeners, and we're going to go ahead and start playing it again.
See, I think part of it was, honestly, having been in this business and knowing the people in this business the way I do, I think some of it was just for show. I think they may have not included it on the playlist just to get a little free publicity.
I don't think so, not with this one. There may be some stations that jumped on the bandwagon now to get local publicity, and that could be, but I think most of this was founded in the Me Too movement.
It's just so stupid. It's beyond, and actually, it's spawned a couple of good parody songs. So, but the one in Cleveland's going to play it now.
No, the one in D.C. is now going to play it. Or, excuse me, not D.C., San Francisco.
Well, that's fabulous. Fabulous.
Right. This, of course, is saying that it's promoting date rape culture.
Well, of course. I mean, come on. But then again, look at her. She wants it. Look how she's dressed. She's not even dressed for the cold.
William Shatner commented on it.
But he's usually not. He's not very PC. What did he?
He said, "Call into CBC radio all day and get them to play Baby It's Cold Outside over and over until midnight."
So, I think he might be a.
William Shatner is at least partially on the right.
Yeah.
I don't think there's still some liberal things. Maybe he's fairly libertarian about it. I think with a good conversation and an education, he could be pretty libertarian about stuff. But he, of course, got bashed for that.
I'm sure that just bothered him up one side and down.
He does not care.
No, he does not. He's close to death, and he's Captain Kirk, so he doesn't care.
And the reason he said this is CBC had planned to remove it. So he said, get him to, they said they were going to remove it at like midnight, which, again, why wouldn't you just do it?
Well, you got to reprogram the computers and the logs and the stuff.
It automatically regenerates as soon as you remove stuff. It takes 20 seconds.
So this whole thing has just been asinine.
But he was like, see if they'll play it all day up until, whatever. And even if he was just goofing about it, at least he was willing to goof about it when most people take this stuff so seriously.
Yeah. And there were, was it 2 weeks ago? There were stations around here starting to play Christmas music 24 hours a day. I wanted to take a gun.
It's not 2 weeks. Dude, they've been doing this since a week or two before Thanksgiving. They started earlier and earlier with this stuff. The reason radio stations do this, and you'll see, I mean, it doesn't matter their regular format. They switch because they usually see a huge uptick in that, year end, and they can end up selling it then.
It's the commercialization of Christmas is what it is, and we shouldn't commercialize
No, all of this stuff is, once again, about attention. Either attention because people use it to manipulate because they're the progressives and they want to play puppet master and they just want to control you, or it's the people who support it because they're so emotional, or a combination of the two. It's about attention. The Me Too movement wasn't really about protecting women and women having rights wronged rights, righted, wrongs righted.
Things touched.
It wasn't about any of that stuff. It was about, look at me. I'm a victim and I need attention. Everybody just trying to go through their rotten, stinking little lives and feel good about themselves. That's what it's about.
Isn't that what we do every day?
It is. And then and I didn't get to this yesterday. Amy Schumer had one of those over the weekend. Another one.
The unfunny Schumer.
Yes.
Oh, good.
Amy Schumer is, I'm going to caution the audience here. Those with weak constitutions may want to step away from the radio for a moment. Amy Schumer is pregnant.
What?
Yeah, stop. Don't, no images. Don't. Okay, back to me.
Okay, all right.
So, she posted on her Instagram a little video of her vomiting.
Oh. Of the process.
She is in her second trimester, the way I understand it. That's the second of 3, Brad.
Generally speaking, yes, of a trimester, yeah.
And she talks to the camera while in the bathroom.
Okay.
And supposedly vomits. And she put, this is the caption she put on it.
Okay.
deep in my second trimester, and all I can say is, nope. Yesterday, I did a show 90 minutes later, and it's a video of her vomiting, supposedly.
All right, so she's still working when she's pregnant. Good for her.
Now, Amy has played and learned to play this this victim thing to a very high level.
She's very good at it.
Right, because it's not enough. Well, it is enough, sadly, to just play the victim. I'm suffering with pregnancy. Come, feel sympathy for me, right?
It is a burden.
Right. Not that it's not rough, ladies, please.
Here.
I'm not saying that.
Here, spit this bowling ball out that hole.
Well, but I mean, a lot of women have difficult times throughout their pregnancy, being sick and whatever, and I get it, okay. I mean, that would be horrible. You're right. But people have done this since the beginning of time, and for most of you, I would think,
are you
almost
sure
all of you, that they chose to get pregnant, right? So you've made this choice. I know it's not fun, but listen, we all have our crosses to bear. Men, women, white, black, it doesn't matter where you are. Everybody has their crosses to bear. You chose this. Not that I can't feel sympathy, and let's move on. But Amy doesn't just play the victim on this thing. She plays the victim. I mean, she recorded herself. She put the phone up in the bathroom while she supposedly vomits. Then post deep in my second trimester, and all I can say is nope. Why? Did she do this just to show, oh, it's a funny little thing? No, it's miserable.
Yeah.
Okay. There's nothing funny about it.
Yeah.
Okay. So why did she do it? Attention. Promote herself. But then, this is what takes it to the next level. I did a show 90 minutes later. Empowerment. And follows that line up with a couple of hashtags.
What were the hashtags?
So blessed and God's miracle.
They're gonna kick her out of the Democrat club if she keeps up that.
Right.
That's
no
for her.
No. See, Brad, she is suffering this way. Look at how horrible it is. Let's give her attention. And look at how brave she is. She actually did a show 90 minutes later. And then it's not that she's complaining, though, folks.
No.
She's absolutely complaining.
She's good at it.
Right. That is gold. That is high level liberalism there. That's top-notch liberalism where you're playing victim, but then saying, but I'm not playing victim. This is like somebody not doing right by people with their money.
Okay.
And then trying to make it look like you take care of people with your money by giving to charity.
Right. Being phony, yes.
Right. It's like over the years, millionaires and billionaires screwing people every step of the way. Their employees, business associates.
Not the good kind of screwing.
No, being ruthless their entire career, making a fortune, and then becoming philanthropists because I started a charity. How about not being a flaming asshole to everybody you work with and treating them well, paying them for their worth? What about stuff like that? How about not screwing over business partners and I don't know, people who invest with you and people you do business with and managers? How about not screwing them over, actively, knowingly squeaking every penny out of them, and then, well, but I gave $10,000 to charity. Look at me. But it's not that I'm giving to charity. I'm just drawn to do this. That's what she's doing here.
Yes, that's exactly what she's doing.
And for those of you that are wondering, yep, I'm going to play some of it.
Hi, I thought it might be fun to see me throwing up in a public bathroom.
I thought you had to pay extra for that.
No. So she says that while looking at the camera or phone, sets it up. Now, Brad, look. Notice.
Fight it off?
She's pretty casual about it.
Yeah?
Right?
Is that her?
That's her ass and stomach. She's getting it all set up, right?
God.
Sorry. You don't actually see her throw up. You see the back of her head.
You know, usually you see a lot of that in the audience at her shows, but
that is true.
You don't really see it from her.
I'm not hearing a lot hit the water there.
No, it's you know, from this angle she looks even fatter.
It's hard to imagine. Okay, so you see that, right? And did you actually see her throw up?
Nope. Didn't even hear a splash.
Did you really hear as bad? I mean, I know that's not.
No, did not hear the sploosh.
Right.
Yeah. No.
Now, she may have, but I'm calling a little Bravo Sierra on that thing. And remember, she doesn't, folks, I've thrown up a few times in my life.
You?
Yeah, it normally is not me trying to throw up.
Right.
When it actually happens, it's usually like, oh my God, blah, right? You know,
yeah.
She's like trying. Now, maybe I will give her credit, benefit of the doubt, and
You've
say,
never been pregnant.
True. And I will also say that maybe she was so nauseated, she was trying to make herself throw up. She did not say that. She did not. It was her, I'm just going to do this, whatever. And I did a show 90 minutes later. Stop it.
Well, I would have to say if I had my face that close to a public toilet, I might want to throw up too.
Well, and
there's that.
To also give her the benefit of the doubt. If I had my face looking at my face
right
as I passed the mirror while going to the bathroom, I too may have actually gotten to the point where I...
Yeah, it did seem a bit over the top.
Did it seem a little...
It didn't seem real.
It wasn't just me,
I mean,
right?
I've never been pregnant except for that. I've never been pregnant that you're aware of, and it so I cannot say that for sure that she wasn't sick, but it didn't seem like it.
So, okay.
You know, there's that.
This is once again about attention, plain and simple. And so, how do you feel about the Amy Schumer show? How was her performance there? I mean, overall, if you were going to critique it and just kind of sum it up, what would you say? Right? Yeah. So
we should keep that around.
Yeah.
That's she will be the gift that keeps on giving over. It's that thing. It's that.
And then, by the way, she pauses and looks at the toilet dramatically. One hand to the side of her head. So horrible. But I'm blessed. This is not about me, folks. My throwing up on Instagram and telling you how wonderful it is that I did a show 90 minutes later, how strong I am. It's not about me, folks. It's about all the pregnant women out there that throw up. That's what it's about. I'm here for them. If we could change this, women for women, to get them to not throw up when they're pregnant. That's my new group. Some sort of a blue ribbon commission, some sort of task force. Definitely a charitable organization.
I promise you, we just triggered half the country, and they're in the bathroom right now going, oh.
Yeah, for those of you that are really sensitive to that, are you sensitive to that?
I'm not. No, I mean, it would be more the smell than the...
Okay, that didn't help the people who are already triggered. Sorry about that,
it's folks. That vomitous smell. You know, that one that just overpowers you when someone else is vomiting. Yeah.
Yeah, because there are some people that are triggered and you know they're like, oh my gosh, I can't handle this.
You know, I just have to say, if she feels that bad, imagine how the father feels.
I know, right? Good morning. That's right.
He's seen her naked.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. You're right.
I'm guessing he was tricked.
You think? How? I'll see it up for you. How?
Dark room, lots of liquor, a forget-me-now. Listen, it was based on the fact that she's pregnant. Leads me to believe that there was a Bill Cosby moment somewhere. Somebody.
He thought he was sleeping with a dude.
I was in a dark room and I could hear it unfolding, but I couldn't stop it.
All I heard just smelled like regret.
Right, exactly. It was in this darkened room and I just couldn't stop it. I knew something was going on, but...
Did you see her tweet after that? Pretty bad. Trying to get by. Thanks for the support. People don't understand this, S.
They don't. Yes, people. Because no woman has ever been pregnant. You know what pissed me off about this most?
Half the population.
And again, ladies, I truly understand. I've known people that have been really sick during the pregnancy. It's not that.
To you, ladies.
I'm being honest. I do get that. It's not that I'm not sympathetic. But you're rich. You are rich, and you have people fawning all over themselves, oddly, to take care of stuff for you.
Yes.
When she got there, if she didn't want to clean up the vomit, she didn't have to clean up the vomit.
She had people
If
for
she
that.
needed a limo or somebody to carry her out or to go to get her, run and get her a drugs, whatever it is, she's got people to take care of that. Meanwhile, throughout history, there have been women who have had it worse than this while having to work in a rice paddy or something and drop their baby and get back to work.
Right.
Women in factories, right? Women in prisons. And you're not able to put it into perspective? The whole little so blessed that I did a show 90 minutes later. Great. Were you picking cotton? Was that your job? Were you running a punch press? Were you working in a rice paddy? Are you in a prison? Is that your job? You stood on stage and pretended to tell jokes.
I was going to say, can't really call her a comedian. They're generally funny. So,
Right.
Yeah.
It's perspective about this stuff. And I would even be willing to give her more of a pass if she hasn't said and done so many stupid things and supported so many progressive causes, the whole little I'm a victim thing. You're not a victim. You're a rich lady in America. Rich and famous lady in America. You got a long way to go before you're a victim there, sweetheart. You know who the real victim is? The father. That's who there I was. It was like an out-of-body experience. I couldn't stop it from happening.
I felt paralyzed.
It was dark. All I felt was fat.
It was a shadow. It came over me
and smelled sweaty regret. And all I wanted to do was that's all I wanted to do.
I couldn't hear the stereo.
More, but I had to. Okay.
Oh, that will keep coming back and back and back. Karen over on Facebook, by the way, said William Shatner was the keynote speaker at Freedom Fest in 2017.
I didn't know that. That's
interesting.
Well, okay, that's what I wondered. But I have heard him say or question some things, or question some of the things that he said in interviews that were a little.
He's got to keep
progressive-y.
He's just got to keep up the.
Well, the one thing I will say is he does seem like he truly is trying to understand this. You know, it's not just I believe this, and it's like, well, tell me why you think this. And
he spent over 5 years traveling in deep space, and he met a lot of different cultures.
Don't be a Shatner apologist.
He's seen.
Are you a Trekkie?
He has.
Are you a Trekkie? Why didn't you disclose that before commenting on this?
So many civilizations.
I'm sorry, you're going to have to recuse yourself from commenting in the future on anything William Shatner related.
But it is possible that he was that he could be the father because he is Captain Kirk, the only person willing to go where no man has gone before. Kool-Aid with a C. Yeah, there you go.
If you're trying to make your way in the world today with everything you've got.
If you're going through life with blinders on, it's tough to see.
I understand. Perhaps I can help you out here. A lot of what we do on the broadcast, if we whether it's Building America, stuff like that, or clients, people that we accept as clients, it's kind of a life hack thing where with just a little bit of effort, you can hopefully, end up putting up some significant dividends, things that will change your life a little bit. That's all most of us have. Most of us are middle-class people, and we're just struggling trying to get through. So if I can save a little bit of time or help you make a little bit of money, save a little money, something like this, I'm going to give you those life hacks. And one of those I would say is Era Capital Management.
Yes.
You go to eracapitalmanagement.com. They can help you with investing, retirement planning, manage your money, basically. And there's a lot of different things they can do for you. If you need help with any IRAs, Roth IRAs, traditional IRAs, rollover IRAs, if you've got a 401k from a former business that you worked for, that would likely be bigger if the people you worked for were more generous while claiming they were generous.
Right.
Something like that.
Something. I mean, if you.
Right.
Yeah, there's a lot of that in the country.
Right. Then go and take that IRA and have Era Capital Management take care of it for you. Roll it over.
Two things I won't do. Negotiate my own contracts and manage my investments. Two things.
Can I negotiate your future contracts?
I've seen you work, and no, I'm just going to let that.
Actually, I'm a pretty good contract negotiator.
Are you?
I actually do okay with
those. How much you getting paid through the contract through here at MoJo? How much you negotiate that one for? Yeah. So maybe contacting Era Capital Management might be a good idea if you are of a like mind and you want to have a professional manage your money.
I mean, we're nearing the end of the year here, so let's clean up some of that stuff. If you've got old investments, things you're not paying as much attention to, 401k, something like that, Just go to eracapitalmanagement.com. Just go to their website and check it out. Jacob and crew, they're a good company, solid. I've gone through the steps of how they approach things and even the models that they have.
And honestly, though, I mean, people who think about money all day long and how to invest and how to make, they're a little weird.
No, they are.
You have to be a little weird.
I love the passion about it, because most people are like, yeah, I don't know what that means. And they're just like, no, you don't understand. With this model here. And when I look at, and they've got the whole thing
and
laid
look at
out.
the return you get here. And if you do this, and,
and it's 14% of that with the whatever. It's really pretty cool. But they're passionate and they're solid people. So if you've got any old investments, a 401k, contact Era Capital Management today. Just eracapitalmanagement.com. That's ERA, eracapitalmanagement.com. And just find out what they can do. Or if you're considering future investments, maybe you have, for a lot of people that are getting ready to retire, or maybe 5-10 years out, you may have $50,000, $100,000 tied up in some stock. Or
and let's say all the money you're going to save by not having to pay off the claims of congressmen who are getting accused of sexual
funds, anything like that. Just contact Era Capital Management today. That's ERA, Era Capital Management at eracapitalmanagement.com. Era Capital Management LLC is a registered investment advisor. Era Capital Management LLC provides fee-only portfolio management. The advisor may not transact business in states where it is not appropriately registered, excluded, or exempted from registration. Keep in mind that investing involves risk. The value of your investment will fluctuate over time, and you may gain or lose. No strategy can assure success, and it is not guaranteed.
Although not as much risk as sex with Amy Schumer.
Oh, far less
Far
risk.
less risk than sex with Amy Schumer. Just to make that clear. Yeah, exactly. Oh, man, I was going to read this tweet, but we're so out of time. It was a good one, too. And, man, Kinsey, I'm sorry I could,
All right, coming up next, a whole lot less of that. I guarantee it.
This is the seditious, rabble-rousing, liberty-loving, home of fun, entertaining, and compelling talk. MoJo 50.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. British Prime Minister Theresa May seeking assurances today from European Union leaders that they'll support the Brexit deal she's negotiated. The BBC's Rob Watson reports May's on shaky ground after surviving a no-confidence vote just yesterday in her own party.
Her preference is to get something from the European Union, maybe not necessarily today, but over the next couple of days. I think the European Union does not want to see Britain crash out of the European Union. It does not want to see Theresa May fail. I think there's a certain amount of sympathy. But they're just not going to fundamentally change the offer to Britain, partly because they don't want to, they can't, and they kind of think, why on earth would we want to make a deal to a weak leader of a divided government? It just doesn't make any sense to them.
May is set to make her appeal today to the other 27 EU leaders at a summit in Brussels. It now appears that recently revealed hacking attack on guests who stayed at Marriott hotels was the work of China. U.S. officials told the Associated Press that it appears a massive data breach was carried out by hackers working for China's main intelligence agency. Stolen was the personal information from as many as 500 million guests of the Marriott hotel chain. The House has easily approved a massive farm bill, but without what many saw some common sense requirements for those seeking assistance.
The bill extends safety net programs and subsidies for farmers for 5 years, but it lacks the tougher work requirements for food stamps that had been pushed by Republicans and the president. Those provisions threaten to stall the bill in the Senate, where it needed support from Democrats to pass.
That is Capitol Hill correspondent Wally Hines reporting in Clear Creek, West Virginia. Friends and family members yesterday applauding as 3 young adults were rescued after several days inside an abandoned coal mine they'd been missing since Saturday. On Wall Street, Dow futures right now pointing up by 57 points. NASDAQ futures are up by 20, and S&P 500 futures pointing up by just about 3 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Hey guys, Ron Phillips with the Conservative Cartel. Are you tired of the bar scene, hoping to find the love of your life? Well, there is a better way for you single guys and ladies out there. Check out WeThePeople.dating. They make it easy to find a liberty-minded match, and it takes less than a minute to create a free account and begin browsing through over 11 million monthly subscribers. Look, we all know the success of a relationship hinges on the core shared values of a couple. So check out WeThePeople.dating for the love of people and people of love. Sign up and start dating today. WeThePeople.dating. life, liberty, and the pursuit of a partner.
There's a better way to meet people without having to suffer through all the crazies. Weed out all the nutty people with WeThePeople.dating. That's WeThePeople.dating. It's easy to find a liberty-minded match, and it takes less than a minute to create a free account and begin browsing through over 11 million monthly subscribers. Look, we all know the success of a relationship hinges on the core shared values of a couple. So check out WeThePeople.dating. Sign up and start dating today. WeThePeople.dating. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of a partner.
This is David Barton with another moment from America's history. In Exodus 18:21, the Bible not only instructs that we're to choose our own leaders at the local and county and state and federal levels, but it also sets forth the standards for those leaders. For generations, Americans voted with a full awareness of this passage. Notice, for example, how Founding Father Noah Webster relied on it. He instructed students, when you become entitled to exercise the right of voting for public officers, let it be impressed on your mind that God commands you to choose for rulers just men who will rule in the fear of God. If our government fails to secure public prosperity and happiness, it must be because the citizens neglect this scripture and elect bad men to make and administer the laws. In the upcoming elections, make sure not only that you vote, but that you vote for leaders who will rule in the fear of God.
For more information on God's hand in American history, contact Wall Builders at 1-800-8REBUILD.
All right, communiques coming in at Doc Thompson Show, at Real Brad Staggs, and at MoJo 50 Radio, all across the social media spectrum.
And Kinsey Richards did have a great point. You have to remember, you can be a Trekkie nowadays without being a William Shatner fan. There's so many people that do not even remember a single episode of the original Star Trek series.
That is true, but I was being kind when I said that to Brad, because I knowingly omitted one word. When I said you are a Trekkie fan.
Mm-hmm. What was the one word?
Three-letter word.
Three-letter word.
Starts with old.
Oh, man. This is why you don't have any friends. This is why.
What?
This is why no one likes you. Stag Night at Boinkin' Cows. Wow. The father's trying to keep his identity a secret.
Which father?
Amy Schumer. Well, not her father. The father of her child.
Has she disclosed the father?
She did, but it was just that one time when they were having sex.
I bet bet she's under a gag order. And so is he.
Yep. Took Doc long enough to get those chips open. I told you someone was watching, and Paul B. was probably waiting for them to go all over your face.
I was worried that the bag was going to explode.
All over your face.
You know, when you try to pull the potato chip bag open, I mean, I could get it open, but they're going to be all over the place. So.
Yes, exactly.
And then I kept stopping and going, it's Serenity now.
It's that whole grilled cheese sandwich thing. I'll just...
Yep. Yeah. All right, what else you got to be in the world of communications?
Let's see here. Where was the next one? It went right there. Stephen English says, questions are the contract negotiation skill of the guy, not the paying guy. Wait a minute, that doesn't make sense. Questions? Oh, Real Brad Staggs questions the contract negotiation skill of the guy, not the guy paying him. You were not paying me, in other words. I was questioning your skills as a contract negotiator. But
I don't know what any of that means. I don't know what any of it means.
We've scoured news platforms and agencies around the globe for today's most profound news headlines. Presenting them now, here's Brad Staggs.
And these headlines are brought to you by RodOnGame.com. A travel warning for our listeners. Delta.
Amy Schumer's bathroom. Avoid that like the plague.
Because there is the plague in it. Delta has banned kittens and puppies as support animals on all flights.
Maybe you start with snakes and alligators.
I don't think you'll
already get rid of those?
I don't think you'll be able to do that either. They've banned, let's see, all other flights here. Delta said Monday it will ban all emotional support animals on flights longer than 8 hours and will ban all service and support animals under 4 months of age on flights, no matter the duration.
Okay, wait a minute. I get where they're going with some of that, but...
Bobby peed in the pool.
What do you mean?
Well, you know, everybody has to get out of the pool when some kid pees in the pool. It's the people who started bringing on the emotional support.
Peacocks.
Yes, the peacocks, the scorpions, the snakes, everybody was trying to bring their emotional groundhog onto the flight, and that's what That's what finally shut it all down.
Okay. Now there's my problem with it's for flights longer than.
Okay, so it's going to ban all emotional support animals on flights longer than 8 hours. So if the flight is longer than 8 hours, you don't get to bring anything.
This shows you the failure right there.
Why?
I would think that you probably need an emotional support animal, if you really need one, on flights that are longer than 8 hours, more so than a short one, right?
Yeah, but this was never about people having support, emotional support on a flight. It was about what you could bring.
But you see how they do this, though. They attempt or seem like they're doing good when they're not really doing good.
No,
the loopholes always get them.
This is always
we've decided to make a change, but here's the loopholes, and often the loopholes are like, well, that doesn't make any sense.
This is the first step to them just banning them altogether.
Sorry.
That's, finally someone will have some sense. And yet another consumer warning for our listeners. Kotex sleek tampons have been recalled after reports of unraveling upon removal, leaving pieces in the body. There's also a slight chance they could explode.
I'll tell you what, I'd be ticked off. If I'm a woman, whatever, and something like this, there's cotton pickers, I'd be ticked off.
Right. By the way, the part about them exploding, that's not real. They're not going to explode. I mean, somebody could have thought that was real. After months of debate, the man is actually, let's just move on to this one. Sheriff's departments are looking for a man who I couldn't figure out a way to really get that one in there and make it cleaned up. Sheriff's departments are looking for a man who shoved a footlong down his pants. A footlong sandwich down his pants in Lakeland, Florida, of all places.
I mean, was he just walking down the street and had a sandwich? Who cares?
No,
What's the point?
This happened on the 25th at the Marathon gas station on Pipkin Road in Lakeland. You know that one?
So it was more like a theft thing.
More like when you are shoving a footlong sandwich down your pants, you're not.
Well, I didn't know if it was a theft thing.
It for later.
I didn't know if it was a theft thing or a sexual assault or perversion thing.
It was
that they objected to.
It's a sandwich. Come on. Okay. It's a sandwich. According to a post on the sheriff's office Facebook page, the man went into the gas station about 9 o'clock at night and concealed a footlong sandwich in the front of his pants.
Okay.
Because who's going to look? So if you see a man with a large sandwich in his pants, you might want to let the Lakeland County authorities know. Sheriff's deputies are also looking for a thief who targeted the Dollar General store.
That seems like a failure to me.
Yeah, I would think that you would want to, and this happened in Orange County, Florida. You would probably, if you're going to be a thief.
All right.
I don't know.
Pete, I got an idea.
You
ready?
What are you
going to
make
some money here.
What do you want? No, I'm Pete. You're Dave.
You want some money?
Dave.
You want to make money or not? You want to make money? Listen to me.
I want money, Dave. I want money.
Robbery. Here's what I propose. We rob someplace. And we get gobs and gobs of money.
Idea.
You with me?
Yep, I'm with you.
All right.
Find a place with a lot of money.
Right, like the Dollar General store where stuff is really cheap.
No, wait. No, there's not going to be much money at the Dollar.
What, the dollars in the name? You don't want dollars?
Yeah. No, we want a lot of dollars, Dave. I thought you were the smart one in this relationship. I'm going to find a new
Perhaps
crime
we should
buddy.
rob the Dollars General.
The $100 general store. It just seems like a bit of a fail.
I mean, sure, they make a lot of money in volume, but
okay, first of all, if you're going to rob a store at all, how much money does a store have in the cash register anymore anyway?
What do you mean?
Who walks in and pays for anything with cash?
That's true too. Maybe have in the back, something like that.
Why? What, Dollar General's going to have a big box of money?
Well, I mean, they got to make deposits as well. So I don't know. Do you make a deposit every day, or do you put it in the safe for a couple of days?
It
probably varies and whatever, but
I would think so. I just don't think a lot of stores have. If you're going to rob something, have some cojones and rob a bank.
This is not generally the type of robbery that they make movies about. Usually it's like Pierce Brosnan in the Thomas Crown Affair. You're an art thief.
Right. Something with a big payoff at the end. Yeah, you're not going to have the big payoff at Dollar General.
Pierce Brosnan starring in the Dollar General robbery.
Unnecessary. It doesn't work. Unnecessary plastic object. Okay. They don't bring in a lot of money. Meanwhile, in Washington, a man has cut off his testicles with a pocket knife during detox.
This is like, you've done this story every day.
I don't remember it. No?
All right.
It just doesn't ring a bell with me.
Let's just move on.
Mel B has passed her 15th drug test in the hospital after surgery to mend broken ribs and a severed hand.
I don't know who that is, and I don't know why.
You don't know who Mel B is?
Do not.
Hello, the Spice Girls?
Oh,
Mel B?
No, I know her. I know her toast.
That's Melba. That's her cousin. This is
sorry.
Mel B. Now, you missed the whole... She had a severed hand. One of the Spice Girls lost... Well,
How?
I don't know that they lost it. Mel B was not under the influence of drugs at the time of her accidental fall. It's got to get better,
And
right?
it's severed. Did she fall into a wood chipper?
Apparently.
A meat slicer? A bandsaw? What's the...
A rep for the Spice Girls singer has confirmed that she passed her 15th drug test in the hospital after undergoing surgery to mend her broken ribs. And following an accident on Sunday, the spokeswoman told Metro in the UK, yes, her 15th drug test was, as with the previous 14, entirely clean. Apparently, they don't trust Mel B to
Again,
not
what
be
did
on
she
drugs.
fall into? A chainsaw?
Her fall
An
down,
alligator?
Her fall down the stairs was entirely accidental.
And it severed her hand down the steps?
But she received nasty
What was at
injury.
the bottom? A display of swords? What do you...
She's recovering in the hospital and is uncomfortable. She's comfortable, but she still has some pain.
How do you sever your hand?
It does not say.
How many steps were there? A billion? What? How do you sever it?
I have no idea how you can rip your hand off.
I mean, I guess it's possible.
The broken ribs, I get. The severed hand.
The East German judge is going to give her very high marks just for the logistics, right? I mean,
apparently no one else believed her
very
either.
difficult maneuver.
Are you sure she's not on drugs?
Which hand got severed? Do we know which one it was?
It's the one with the cast on it.
I understand. Is it which side, though? Do we know?
It's either the left or the
Seriously,
right.
does it say which one it is?
It does not say which hand. It's going to be her right hand.
Are you sure?
Nope. I got a 50-50 shot of it. Why? What is?
I'm just curious.
Let's say it's her right hand. It's her right. It's her right hand.
Right.
I'm telling you.
I just want to know for sure.
It is her right hand. I'm looking at her purple cast.
That's a shame.
That's why.
It's a shame it's not her left hand.
Why?
Because if it was her left hand, she'd be all right. But
Wow, that was a long.
Had you known the information and could have just busted out which hand it was, we would have gotten to that bad joke more quickly.
In other more serious news,
you're forgetting a sponsor.
I'm not forgetting anything.
Coming up tomorrow night. No, that's tonight.
I have it right here. There's the headline. Police in Texas responded to a complaint of a loud and raucous party tonight. They say there will be drinking, cussing, cigar smoking, and grown-ass men laughing like schoolgirls. You see, that was the next headline.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Strangely enough, it was right there in the headlines, and this is actually a future headline because this will be what we do tonight. And I woke up this morning.
There's a notepad with it, too.
You can write notes. Yes. See? It comes with everything you need. This is rightongame.com if you're not familiar with it, because mocking the left feels so right. This is a game that will expose the people in your life, and it will allow you to see better into their personalities.
Here's
and
some
their
other headings that I didn't get to the other day. I just realized race hustle is one of them. Earth snobs, Islam abomination, millennial entitlement. I think we got to the others. Police lives matter, Hollywood hypocrisy, animals are people too.
I'm just looking. Who's bringing the booze tonight, by the way?
That would be you.
Okay. Who's bringing the cigars?
That would be you.
Okay. Good deal. Ron, you bringing anything, by the way, tonight? Are you?
I'm bringing the MeVo.
Oh, it's a good call.
Is that that toy thing that you blow up?
This is so we can actually put it on Facebook. We'll do it. We can do Twitter as well. Where will people find us?
Everywhere that we broadcast our shows. It'll be Twitter, Facebook, YouTube.
But not on the live stream that we normally do for the radio portion.
Yeah.
We're doing that as well?
What do you think? We're rookies?
It'll be
I don't know. I just didn't know. No one told me that. Okay.
This will also be on
everywhere
CNN.
that your show is right now, video. That's where it'll be.
All right.
We'll be live on Fox News tonight.
And then where, closed circuit TV with the local police.
Absolutely.
What time is that?
It's going to be 8 p.m. Central, so 9 p.m.
9 Eastern. Make sure to check it out. It should be interesting. It's rightongame.com if you want to pick up a Right On Game and play along with us. It's a lot of fun. Rightongame.com. Get a 10% discount by using the promo code MoJo50. It's rightongame.com.
And by the way, over in the MeWe chat room, they were discussing the fact that soon there will be a naked version of the Right On Game. I'm just saying, someone in the MeWe chat room is that
those people
they
that
talk
are
about
clever don't need an official naked version. You just adapt the current version.
I think that's kind of what they were referring to. It is Thursday, December 13th. Man, time flies when you are having fun. 11 days until Christmas and a mere 690 days until the most important election of our lifetime. It's sneaking up on you. I'm just saying. It's National Pick a Pathologist Day.
Pick a pathologist?
Pick a pathologist.
I would think, pathology is...
working with dead stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why would somebody be a pathological liar if it's dead stuff and you're pathological?
No, what I'm saying is pick a pathologist for what?
Well, the dead stuff they're going to have to do with you when you die. Wouldn't you rather pick somebody now and have a reputable pathologist?
Hate the days.
That's the best thing about them. It was on this day in 2000. Something big happened. And
December 13th, 2000.
Hang on, it's every word. Chad. If your name was Chad. In 2000.
Can you give me another clue?
Hanging Chad. Al Gore conceded the presidential election.
Oh, yeah, there's better clues you could have given for that.
Well, you would have gotten it if I'd given you the better clues. I have to give you the half-ass clue so you don't know what I'm talking about.
I think most of us got it right off.
And in 2003, he was captured.
Al Gore?
Wrong.
Oh, are you different? Give me a clue. Sedgwick? I don't know. You got me.
Saddam Hussein.
I'm not familiar with him.
He was the guy, he ran that nightclub in Philly, and they finally captured him for having those underage parties in Philadelphia. Taylor Swift is 28 years old today. Isn't that nice?
It's getting old.
Jamie Foxx is 50, and Dick Van Dyke is still alive. Who said it? I understand the pain of working class Americans because I have experienced the pain. Who do you think said
Alexandria
that?
Ocasio-Cortez.
Think about now. I'm going to give you a few seconds here to think about that.
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Just remember, it's you only get one shot at the answer, and you want to make sure
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
I understand the pain of working class Americans because I have experienced the pain. And you think that was who?
Henny Youngman.
No, I'm sorry. That was Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez who said that. Thank you. Our weird fact of the day, by the way, men are 6 times more likely to be struck by lightning than women.
That's because we got first pick.
We were given choice. Now on to serious news. A double amputee was dragged out of a club and knocked unconscious by a bouncer. I want you to think about this for a second. Double amputee, dragged out of a club, knocked unconscious by the bouncer. And I will give you, just to set the scene a little bit more, it was his entire left side gone. Leg, arm, gone. Now, just think about that. Here's this guy standing there on one leg, one arm, holding a drink. And
the good news is he's going to be all right.
You see, if they just now joined the program, they won't have to worry about that whole Mel B other thing that happened. George Blackshaw is 19. He lost his right leg and arm in a lawnmower accident 4 years ago. You know, I started when I was looking at this, and I thought, it's just not people with
hang on,
stuff.
Hang on,
and then I saw lawnmower, and I went,
hang on.
Yeah,
I'm sure it would be easy to be in a situation where you would lose a hand or a foot or something to a lawnmower, right? In an accident, somebody runs you over.
Of course.
Maybe you trip and fall. The thing gets away from you, it runs over your arm. I get that. How does it get both your hand and your foot?
You know what? It takes skill, and the I think the Romanian judge probably would have given him a 9.5 on the move.
As it's running over your hand, you're going, this is horrible, but at least I can still walk. Ow!
Have you seen on a lawnmower, the push kind, have you seen the little warning stickers that say basically, do not use this as a hedge trimmer?
Oh, yeah.
Do you know why the warning
Because somebody picked it up and tried to use the hedge trimmer and lost 2 limbs. That's
yes.
right. It's the wacky warning labels.
Yes. There are Darwin Award winners born every day.
Honey, it's taken me forever to trim these hedges. It's so heavy. Someone should make a more lightweight lawnmower that's easier to lift over your head when you're trimming the trees and bushes.
Wait, didn't we trim the hedges last night?
No, that was a couple weeks ago.
Oh,
I've been keeping track. I have it on my calendar.
That was something different. In Encinitas, California, North County bike safety advocate was hit by a truck while bicycling.
He was what?
Hit by a truck while he was bicycling. He's the bike safety advocate for North County. And you see, I was having this discussion the other night with a friend. Her name's Jamie. And we were discussing the Ironic song by Alanis Morissette and the fact that there is nothing ironic in it. This, however, is an example of irony.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
Because you see, he's a bike safety advocate.
This is the second you get hit, you're like, oh, crap. He got the irony instantly.
Yes. I'm going to be all over the papers.
And then the smart people that go, oh, crap, I'm going to be... No, I can use this. I see this. If the bicycle safety advocate, can get it, that shows you exactly why I'm needed and why we need stricter laws and safety and so on.
Exactly. Boy, you'd feel bad if they died, wouldn't you?
Who?
The bike safety advocate. After they got hit by, you didn't even ask if they were okay.
I've expressed my dislike of cyclists in the past.
Are you legally allowed to discuss?
I no longer work for that company. I worked for a company years ago that got to the... I'll tell this story down the road. We'll move on and I'll explain this. And maybe I'll explain at the bottom of the hour.
Yeah, the fact that there was actually a cease and desist.
Oh, it's very long.
Yeah, but it is worth every penny of it. Dateline Nashville, 2 were found dead in a murder-suicide after a woman saw her boyfriend's body in a FaceTime call with her ex-boyfriend.
Yeah, okay. I get that.
Do you?
Yeah.
Do you?
I think so.
Uh-huh.
Is there some that I haven't figured out the...
Okay, so what happened?
So you see somebody in it, then you murder him, you kill yourself. Is that it?
No.
What happened?
I mean, that's just as good as this. Here's what happened. So every great story starts off with 2 men died Thursday afternoon. But the woman is on a FaceTime call with her ex-boyfriend, who is threatening to kill himself, and in the background she sees her current boyfriend dead on the ground. She then calls the police.
Wow.
Yes, exactly. How weird a day would that be?
Steve, listen. Calm down. It's okay. You don't have to kill yourself. We can get help. It's okay.
I'm so sorry.
No, there's no reason you should kill yourself. Steve, hang on. Hold on.
What?
Okay, just hang on.
I'm listening.
You don't have to kill. Nothing can be that bad.
Oh, it's all horrible.
No, there's nothing.
Bad.
We can get beyond. What is that next? What is that right there?
That's Kevin. He's dead.
Yeah, Kevin looks dead.
He's dead. Kevin's dead. It's not moving.
Go ahead and kill yourself, Steve.
Okay, I can do that. How bad a day would you be having if that was what you did in the morning?
Unless you was ready to move on anyway.
Could have been.
And then it's problems that take care of themselves.
Just saying.
You know.
John D.F. Black is dead at the age of 85, by the way.
I don't know who that is.
Yes, you do. He wrote 10 episodes of Hawaii Five-0, which is in the title of our right there. He wrote Charlie's Angels. He wrote The Lawman. He wrote The Untouchables. And he wrote some episodes of Star Trek.
I still don't know who that is.
And The Streets of San Francisco. John D.F. Black wrote a lot of things that you watched and you liked.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
I still don't know who it is, though.
He was,
I don't know which episodes he wrote.
The good ones.
I now am familiar with some of his work.
Remember, the guys who wrote really good TV back in the day grew up on books and radio. The people who write for TV today grew up on TV. Think about that one.
Interesting.
That is deep. A fugitive saw his wanted...
No.
Shall we move on to something else?
No, you've got something else to do here.
Oh, I do have something else. You know what? I was discussing adaptogens with someone. Was that last night? I was. You know what an adaptogen is?
No.
$20, save us downtown.
Can't believe I fell for that one.
I can't believe it either. Here's my bottle of adaptogens from The Rich Solution.
Oh.
And I am actually going to... Okay, I haven't opened this one yet because I have the one I use at home. And I'm going to...
Why don't you explain what it is while you're opening it?
I don't care that people know what it's about. Adaptogens are from therichsolution.com, and it is a concoction here. Put some in my mouth.
He will not remember any of the rest of the show.
Now I'm ready to face the day. Adaptogens give your body a sense of balance. And come on, who
I would have paid $1,000 if you had fallen off the chair at that point. It gives you some sense of balance.
If you go to therichsolution.com and you scroll down, actually, you just have to go over to supplements for this one, and you click on Rich Adapt. And what you will find there if you go to Rich Adapt is this solution that provides not only calm and balance, but supports energy and well-being.
And it's a supplement.
It's a supplement for you and your body. And here's the thing. Whose life isn't out of balance these days? Who is not working too many hours?
Not enough sleep, too many hours. You're not eating right. We're too busy. So much stress. Yeah.
I think you should get yourself a knock of that, by the way, as well. It's a unique proprietary blend of adaptogenic herbs.
Ooh, it smells nice.
It's an herb that helps promote balance in the body, and balance is a good thing. Look, the bottom line is when I saw this...
Wait a minute. Let me ask you.
Yeah.
Are you the before picture or the after picture?
I'm transitioning.
Okay. If you're the before picture, I'll try it. But if it's the after picture, we're going to need somebody else in here to sell it.
And it's got a very pleasant taste, by the way.
It does. Smells good. I'm going to try it as soon as we're done.
Just put it in your mouth.
I will, but
I got to do this.
Put
it in your mouth.
We've only got 20 seconds left. Give them the website.
Well, put it in your mouth then. The website is therichsolution.com. Therichsolution.com. The Rich Adapt. I'm telling you, if you want something...
How much do I take?
Just a dropper full.
A full dropper?
A full dropper, yes.
It says 2 drops, not a 2 droppers.
Just stick a dropper. Just put it in your mouth. Put it in your mouth. Swallow.
With great mojo comes great responsibility. MoJo 50.
You have to hand it to the left. They have one set of rules for themselves and another set of rules for those on the right. Let me explain. Former Senate Intelligence Committee Security Director Jim Wolf recently pleaded guilty to lying to investigators about his contact with a reporter. Wolf reportedly had a multi-year relationship with a young reporter and was accused of leaking information to her for an article that she wrote. He also allegedly gave information to other reporters about a subpoena issued against President Trump's former foreign policy advisor, Carter Page. During an interview with FBI agents in December 2017, Wolf denied even knowing the reporters. However, he later changed his story and pleaded guilty in October to lying about his contacts with one reporter. Wolf lied to FBI agents like Trump's former national security advisor and retired Lieutenant General Michael Flynn. However, while the left adamantly condemned him for lying to the FBI, it seems that they believe Wolf, however, should be shown mercy. Former Obama Director of National Intelligence James Clapper wrote a letter to Wolf's judge asking for leniency. He said, "Knowing Jim as I do, I know this whole experience and his exposure to the media has been very traumatic for him already. I would hope the court would consider his long and faithful service as well as what he has endured so far in sentencing and would recommend minimal confinement." I'm wondering if Clapper generously wrote the same letter for Flynn, who faithfully served his country for over 30 years. I'm guessing the answer is no. And that's today's Reality Check with Susan Knowles.
Hey, it's Brad Staggs with big news. MoJo 50 is coming to you and to your town. It's all part of our way of helping the veterans in this country. The MoJo 50/50 tour is 50 states in 50 days. And we're traveling across the country in a bus. I don't know what could go wrong. If you go to MoJo5050tour.com, you can find all the details, including to tentative stops and how you can be a sponsor. MoJo 50/50 tour, MoJo5050tour.com.
I'm not sure I'm learning enough today.
There are some days that I think you just need to let it wash over you.
Okay, I'm just washing it
Just
over.
wash over you.
I'm hoping the adaptogens help.
Oh, they definitely will.
I just hit them up right there, so we'll see. Okay. So if I'm going to need some extra help here, what you're learning today, I need everybody to step up their game. They can't all fall on my shoulders today.
Sometimes
so step it up there.
We all have to put a little effort into today.
I'm going to need a 10 to 30% increase in the number of hashtag what I learned on Twitter today. And I'm going to need about a slight percent increase in the quality as well. So the volume needs to go up 10 to 30% and the quality needs to go up 30 to 40 million percent, right in there.
A lot.
Let's just say 1,000.
Yeah, because if I'm going to steal a good one, I want to steal a good one.
That's
and
right.
not give you credit.
Right. So get those going. It's at Doc Thompson Show, at Real Brad Staggs, and at MoJo 50 Radio. Hashtag what I learned today.
Did you almost throw up just then?
No, I started to say Tar River Arms. I got that spot come up a little bit later on.
Denny did say Mel B could have used some of those adaptogens from the Brit solution.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, she could have. If she had taken the adaptogens, her hand would have magically just popped right back on.
I think it works that way, but okay.
I think it does.
So
It's
it was, let's say, early 2000s, late 90s. So actually, it had to be, early 2000s. 2001. 9/11 was 2001, so it was 2001, 2002.
Late December back in
63, yeah. And it was sometime shortly thereafter, but before 2005, going from where I was working at the time.
Right.
I'm working a little radio station in Cleveland, a hugely successful morning show. And
despite the fact that you were on it?
Yes, in spite of me. And we're doing our little shtick on here and whatever. And there was a story about something in the Cleveland Metro Park system and trails and whatever. And we got on the discussion of bike trails and cyclists. And a couple of the hosts were talking, and one of them's like, I am so tired of cyclists that, will not move over to the side of the road, that, the arrogance of them and all this stuff and talking. And somebody said, made a joke about opening the door into them or something.
Right. So that
one of those, clearly a joke.
Right.
And then somebody, I think that was in response to somebody calling and saying they throw pennies at them as they drive by. This is what a listener said. Okay. And the host even said, dude, we're just joking here.
Right.
Even cleanup said it was a gag. Do not do that. Cyclists, don't do it. And they made a joke and they moved on. A woman who apparently was a cyclist in the community,
maybe a little tight.
And I'm thinking now, looking back, fairly progressive in her attitude.
Yeah.
Got all butthurt by this. Wigged the hell out. Started emailing all this stuff. One of the hosts received some of the emails and said, hey, excuse me, sorry about that. Why don't you come on the air and talk about it? I'm going to give you some airtime here. She comes on the air and she said, you don't understand. Cycling, it's dangerous. And if you don't share the road and whatever.
Yep.
And they gave her a time, whatever. And our newsman said, ma'am, I understand that. But I hope you realize this was a joke. We didn't actually say that. And whatever. Your point taken.
Right.
Great. We're giving you the airtime. But
we don't believe people should throw anything at anybody, especially cyclists.
We even said that at the time, right? He said it. And she was like, well, you shouldn't throw things at people. And he said, ma'am, we didn't. That's what I just told you. We didn't actually say that and told people not to. It's the exact opposite.
Right.
She's like, when you tell people to throw stuff at people, I didn't say it. And she did this like 5 times. Finally, he goes, you're not listening. Are you a moron? You're not getting this. I said, whatever, right? And it was on. Wrapped up the interview.
Wow.
She started a campaign against the station and contacted the corporate office.
Surely that would do no good. Surely that would do no good.
Oh, no. This is many owners of the company and whatever. And they were so worried about this. They're at the corporate level. They're just like, make this problem go away. They made us apologize. Made that newsman apologize for calling that. Even though it was based on something we didn't say.
Right.
They forbid us from discussing cycling, bicycles, two-wheeled objects, anything with a C and a Y in it. We could not they banned the word cycle from our lexicon. Wow. We could not say it. They were pissed. The newsman again had to apologize. The woman then I believe she was, and I may be missing the exact part, but I think this is pretty close, was given a few $1,000s for that she could apply to a cycling charity.
But didn't have to if you didn't want to.
I mean, maybe it was written that way.
Maybe.
I think it was $10,000. I could be wrong about the number, but I think that's what it was, if I remember properly. And maybe it was written in such that it had to be for a cycling charity. It seemed rather loose, the description at the time, that some people may have thought it was a payoff. And it was, right, it was odd.
Even now, she could be listening somewhere.
That was, and I'm not kidding you, one of the lowest points of my career. I know it's very simple, and you're like, why would that be? You don't understand the amount of crazy-ass pressure that came in and the stuff that was claimed. And the company didn't get our back.
Right.
They hung us out to dry.
Yeah.
We were absolutely in the right. And I started, and this is, I mean, there was obviously internet, but it wasn't social media like now, because this was like early 2000. And so it was emails. And I was flooded with emails because she started an email campaign. And there were a couple of interesting and valuable lessons that I learned at this time. Number one, cyclists be crazy.
Yes.
Even bitches are like, oh, cyclists be crazy. Okay? Seriously, that's... And I'm not talking... If you ride a bike for exercise and you go out and cycle, good for you.
Right.
You and your kids, you whatever, you pedal around, maybe even take a listen. I'm talking about the cyclists. You know the ones I'm talking about.
There was one of those at the other place. Skinny.
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yes, he was crazy.
Right.
Crazy.
The cyclists, you know who they are. The ones who can't stop. It's like, how do you know a vegan? Don't worry, they'll tell you.
Yes.
How do you spot a cyclist? They'll tell you.
Yes,
right? I mean,
they
it's that type of thing.
Yes.
And so I learned that. And I was the producer and I was on the air with this show. So a lot of this fell on me to be like a point of contact for the media and stuff.
That was their first mistake.
And I would send them a link to the audio and stuff and say, this is what was said. You're missing the point. And it was just like the lady, right back to, well, you shouldn't.
I didn't.
And people around the country, it's like now with the boycotts and whatever, where they're like, you're just an evil person. You're filled with hate. So I hope your children get sucked into a meat slicer. Right? They're calling you hateful and they're being this. And the cyclists, the vitriol from these people.
Yep.
And I was like, this is one of the strangest things I've been. And then when the company didn't get our back, all of us that day, I was like, wow, this is.
Yeah.
See, a company that I'd worked for, I think that had owned that station throughout the 90s and early 2000s, radio companies just kept gobbling each other up. And a company I'd worked for that owned that station a couple of years or owners before that,
right?
They would have handled it differently.
What would they have done?
They would have promoted it.
Yes.
They would have gone on an anti-cyclist kick because they got it, right? I work with those people. They would have started this, and her point was, it's the law. You've got to share the road. It's true. So I said what we should have done at the time is say this. And by the way, we knew everybody, every politician in the state. There's no political pressure the company could have put on them, right? You do this. Ma'am, you're right. It's just too dangerous for cyclists, and those environments that you're describing and scenarios are horrible. Therefore, I don't think we should share the road anymore. So we're going to start a campaign to change the laws where cyclists cannot be on the road.
For their own safety.
And she already said it. It's too dangerous.
Yes.
There is no way we can ever truly, even if people share the road and get it, why would we ever put cyclists in competition with an automobile?
Four-wheelers,
which, by the way, is kind of true, right? There's some.
Yes.
And you go on the campaign and you say, now, you want to keep this crap up?
She would have backed off.
Absolutely. It was horrible. Now,
she may have backed off.
I understand the company a little bit in that, oddly, the cosmic tumblers aligned, and within, I want to say, 6 months, and it was probably 2 months,
right,
of that incident, before or after, there were 2 other radio stations that this company owned in various parts of the country that had no knowledge of us, what we'd gone through, that ended up in that same situation.
Yep.
Making jokes about, listen, cyclists, if you're on the trail and you're minding your business or whatever, I don't care, fine. If I see you on the side of the road, I try to avoid you. But when you're not avoiding the laws.
For the most part.
No, when you're not avoiding, because here's what they do. they're a cyclist and share the road when they're next to you in the car, right? And you got to share, and I'm allowed in this lane. Great. But when you come up to a traffic light, they just keep going. And the cops never pull them over. No. Or sometimes they hop up on the sidewalk and then go across the crosswalk.
That's what I do. When I ride a bicycle, I ride on the sidewalk.
Right.
Arrest
well, no. Sidewalk, I would be fine if we pick or choose. But they want to take it both ways so they don't have to obey the stoplights and stop signs. Because then they go across the crosswalk. See, I'm in traffic now and I'm going with you down the road. Then I hop up on the sidewalk and I can just go across the crosswalk and then I back into the road. It's nonsense.
Which would be fine if they keep their mouth shut. Because that's what I do. I get in the car.
Even that.
I'll take every advantage I can
one
get.
way or the other. So anyways, at the
I
same
like it both
time,
ways.
other radio stations had been in a similar situation, right? Cyclists riding 4 or 5 abreast, even though they know the law does not allow that. But I would share the road, all of this. So it had happened, several different stations. Well, fast forward many years later, I begin working with a gentleman. Some of you may know I don't know how many people would know him. His name is Jeffy.
A legend in his own shower.
And I'm telling him about this scenario I went through. He goes, I was one of the other stations. I didn't remember where they were. I just remember them. So he was.
Yes.
Same. And it was virtually the same thing.
It's the crazy people that always get the attention.
People are so triggered by some of this stuff. And the reason I bring this up, not just because Brad had it in the headlines, but I want to apply that. That should have been a bit of a canary in the mine, both for how companies are not going to stand up. They don't care. Just shut up, pay people off, stop it, whatever, instead of doing what's right and promoting the truth. And number two, that there are people that are so triggered about something they're passionate about, they cannot be reasonable. Listen, you're going to be more passionate about your children than I am. So if somebody, I don't know, in a restaurant tells, shut up, kid.
Yes.
Whatever, something like that.
And backhands them.
Well, I wouldn't say that. Let's say they say, shut up, kid.
All right.
And I go, hey, maybe you shouldn't talk to a kid that way or whatever. It's going to be more passionate for you. You're going to be able to take it a little more serious, right? It matters to you. If, whatever it is, it's personal in your life. So you've got people that are wandering around believing that they have been kept down because of their skin color, religion, or whatever for years, more so than anything you would go through. And you say, that was a joke. When I said that about black folk or whatever it was, that was a joke.
Yeah, well, it wasn't funny.
Okay, it wasn't funny to you, but it was still a joke. And they can't let it go because there's just some things you cannot or should not joke about. Why? Because they feel bad about it. It bothers them. If you don't like it, it bothers you, move on. This lady could have turned the station and move on. Do you think even if people, everybody else that was listening, didn't get the joke, do you think that they were empowered? Guy on the radio said, just run over cyclists. It's allowed now. I can just kill them. Nobody was saying that. Nobody was thinking that.
No, but now that you mention it, there's some attorney out there that would take that and use it as a defense for some yuts that mows down a group of cyclists.
Exactly.
That's the world of which
and that's just it. The system we've created, we've got people that are so emotionally unstable, even if it's only about one issue. You might be normal with everything else, but you're a one-issue voter because, damn it, purple mailboxes just trigger me.
As they should.
Or whatever. And then you've got of course, attorneys who are trying to make a couple of bucks on it, and then the attorneys who become politicians who use it to market to get themselves elected. All of this is a cycle instead of people saying, shut your hole and know your role. Get back to work. There's nothing to see here. If you're triggered, that's on you. Avoid the triggers in the future. If they're not infringing your rights, you're just feeling bad, you're offended, then avoid the triggers. That's on you to avoid the triggers, not on me to avoid triggering you.
President Toad Sage, you are absolutely correct when you say Cyclegate was the incubation event that led to #AngryDoc. Now you know now you know
it's part of it. Oh, it is part of it
of the story. Yeah.
Remember I was telling you a couple weeks ago, I'm like, you got to have a bit of an ego when you're a performer. It's a problem when you have the ego off the air and you believe your press or
like
whatever.
Yours.
No. But on the air, you've got to be a little bit. That day we came in after the ruling came down from the corporate office the next morning, and we're all like, there was a guy in the corner playing the harmonica that we'd never seen before. There was overcast skies and a slow drizzle.
Yeah.
The half of the lights in the studio were burnt. They were all fluorescent lights. They were all burned out. We all had like a green haze to our skin.
You have to go in and be up, chipper, and entertaining.
That's right.
For 4 hours.
There was a high barometric pressure, and we felt that was it. It's like, hey,
look.
How are you doing?
You work on roads all day in the 120-degree heat. You don't know work until you got to sit for 4 hours and be entertaining.
No, I'm not saying that. It's obviously not like that, but it was just
hard.
So pissed. Seriously.
Yes, and that is corporate radio and corporate.
That was almost 20 years ago now. Certainly 15.
So you were like 13 when you worked at that radio station.
Well, 20, I would have been 20. Right, something like that.
It would have been just about. Yeah, I've been in radio since I was 12. So.
It's such a great illustration. I had no idea that would be everything now.
The defining moment.
I mean, that one moment is what all of us are living now.
Yeah.
That type of thing.
Yeah, which at the time you would have thought, oh, this is absurd. The world can't be this way.
I wonder if I can find the audio of that.
Oh,
I may have it somewhere. I hope I didn't lose it in the fire of '04.
Why do you have to find it when you have an entire jackhole nation who will find it? What station was it?
They may. Magic in Cleveland, WMJI.
And that was 20 years ago, so go for it.
It was, and it makes it, you could find I'll bet you find the stories on the internet.
Oh, absolutely.
Those are going to be out there. I bet you can track those down.
Let them look. Lori D and her big, if the MeWe chat room could pull their own weight when the rest of us are hungover, geez. Lori D's slacking a little bit this morning. I mean, the quality you demanded a rise in quality that I think may have been slightly out of her grasp.
Okay, I got you.
So the MeWe chat room is going to have to bring up the rear.
By the way, I believe Matlock, the guy who is part of the conservative cartel, who is going to be on the air immediately following us in an hour and 10 minutes or so, has an update on his failed gun purchase.
On my amputee? I heard amputee morning this morning. I'm part of the amputee club, but I didn't lose all of my legs and arms.
High 4.5.
You didn't lose any of your legs and arms.
Oh, that's right.
in a tragic falling down the stairs.
It was a lawnmower
or is it what?
Yeah, a lawnmower accident.
Is that? So coming up in your broadcast, you do have an update on your failed gun purchase? Or attempted gun purchase?
Oh, yes. There's going to be
another shoe that is dropped?
Yes.
Okay.
I found out.
This starts on Matt mentioning one of the great deals, one of the great specials they had at Tar River Arms, and told people, I think I'm going to go buy this. And the internet is a challenge. And you see, everything is a challenge.
Matt's still learning.
So somebody
swooped in right underneath them and said, thank you.
Matt's like, I'm going to buy the gun.
See?
And apologized.
Yeah, it was,
I didn't say what it is. You'll have the update on the story. All right.
Or we could just steal the whole thing from him and just tell the whole story.
I'll read the whole damn thing. I tried to leave it for him because he bitched yesterday when I mentioned it, and then he gives a little tip off.
See?
He just cannot keep cats in bags.
No, he cannot.
He can't.
Nope. He tipped it off.
Tar River Arms, the reason people bought them is not just because Matt talked about it, but they have great deals. And it's funny. Here's Matt's out there, and he's like, yeah, so I'm at Tar River Arms. They... Wow, that's a really good price on that.
Holy crap. Do you see how these guns are not expensive at all?
I'm going to have to. Okay, I'm buying this gun. Check it out yourself. TarRiverArms.com. It's TarRiverArms.com. They have great deals. They're veteran owned and operated. Great deals. And they've revolutionized the way you purchase firearms online. What with their 360 imaging and also high resolution photos. And in most cases, they take care of all the shipping and the transfer fees to your local FFL. TarRiverArms.com.
They're having a blowout right now on the on their ARs, which, by the way, AR. Do you know?
Automatic rifle.
Wrong.
It's automatic.
Wrong.
Gunning people down.
You know what it stands for?
Yes, it's actually a name. It's a harassing.
Exactly. Yes, Armalite.
Right, that's what I said.
So they're having a closeout. This is a Ruger AR 556.
Ruger?
It's only, no way. Is that the right price?
See?
It's in an email. All right. I'm gonna
You hadn't seen that one.
I'm going to say it. It's $435.
Wow.
And they've got
what are
two
the
of them.
specs? What is it?
It's a 556, an AR 556. It's a Ruger, and it's this is a really, is that 435? If that's
nice.
If that's, go to Tar River Arms, look up the Ruger AR 556 closeout, because if that's the price, you'd be insane not to buy it.
Right, and just compare. I mean, seriously, look up.
It's like a $650 gun.
Right, look at the type of gun you're talking about, and then that they're advertising, and then compare it. Shop around. You'll see the prices are legit.
Wow, that's an incredible price on that gun. TarRiverArms.com.
All right, communiques coming in now via the social media platform.
Al Spox, ever hear of a little show called Branded, dude? Arthur Digby Sellers wrote the 156 episodes. The bulk of the series, not exactly a lightweight. I think he's referring to John D.F. Black, who you didn't even know who he was.
I don't know who he is. I still don't know.
He is a giant of literature, and he's dead. What will we do?
What do you guys own? Do you own stock? Are you his brother?
As a matter of
Are you
fact,
his
yes.
agent?
And there's an initial public offering.
My
If you'd like to buy
golly.
some of the stock from us,
I mean,
we could.
you guys are taking personal offense.
Some of us have to retire.
It's
on
like I said,
something.
run him over in the metro parks when he's cycling. That's, you guys are really triggered by this stuff.
We could only hope for a lawsuit that
I'm
big.
a member of the whatever his name was fan club. How dare you?
We're hoping for someone to sue us
Is that what
on a national level. That would be the best publicity.
It really would.
Yes. You know, God, we don't have any. You could sue us. We don't have any money, so you're not going to get anything.
Right,
We would
that's
just
the
get
beauty
a buttload of free publicity.
and there
Yes.
you go.
We'd
Good
even
call.
put it on a bus.
Was that part of our business model?
It is now.
Okay.
It is now. Doc wants an increase in the quality and quantity of tweets, yet he doesn't allow Brad to find the comedy gold that we provide. Thank you, Saddle Tramp. Thank you, Saddle Tramp.
Oh, no.
Season the cookies.
The lack of Brad sharing the quality tweets and comments you provide has nothing to do with me.
Someone suggested that I didn't actually burrow down to look for the good ones. And I said to them, hey, make them easier to find. That's all I'm saying. Because
if you make them all gold.
You know what? If you hide one in every 1,000, they're going to be hard for me to find.
That's good.
I'm just saying. My eyesight isn't as good as it once used to be. And that's it. Back to you, Bob.
All right, get those communiques in. And don't forget, coming up tonight, we will be playing the Right On game at 9 o'clock Eastern time across this platform, wherever you find it.
It's great because my bedtime is usually 8:30. So this should be, I'll be pretty
It's just going to be a fun little thing we decided to do. We'll see if it was a good good idea afterwards.
Well, there's going to be alcohol there.
Do we know what the speculation is, good or bad?
Going to be some nudity.
Are we speculating it's going to be good or a bad idea?
I think anytime you get together with us and alcohol and cigars, I think it's a 50-50 shot. One of us will end up in jail.
Okay, that's a good
Because I don't think I can't think of anyone here who could put it more clearly than you. I understand that Donald Trump doesn't care. Heilman makes a good point. He doesn't care. But why doesn't Mike Pompeo care right now? Are the pathetic deflections that we just heard when he appeared on Fox and Friends, is that a patriot speaking or a wannabe dictator's butt boy?
A butt boy?
That would be Mika Brzezinski on MSNBC, who questioned and used the term butt boy.
Fox and Friends.
Because that seems like maybe an inappropriate comment, like possibly an anti-gay slur.
When he appeared on Fox and Friends, is that a patriot speaking or a wannabe dictator's butt boy?
This is Mika Brzezinski, who is #MeToo and don't say hateful, offensive things and left-wing and identity politics, who called somebody or questioned if somebody was a dictator's butt boy.
Is that a patriot speaking or a wannabe dictator's butt boy?
What is butt boy a reference to, Brad Staggs?
A butt boy would be someone
who engages in anal sex with somebody.
Wow, I was okay. If you say so. That wasn't what the guy who asked me to lunch said.
Now, sometimes we use terms, phrases, words, whatever, and they become less powerful. It's not like you're saying specifically gay anal sex. And but in general, you're their whipping boy, which, by the way, doesn't mean you're actually whipping the boy. It means you're subservient or whatever, right?
You could be whipping the boy.
Could be. But you would think that somebody that is that hypersensitive to all of these left-wing causes and the identity politics of people even saying, listen, homotype sexuals, you're being kept down as well. You need us to save you, and hashtag gay rights and whatever other nonsense. And she uses a term like that. Did she not know? Or is she the hypocrite?
You're missing.
Ill-informed, hypocrite, or both.
You're missing the whole, you're missing the most important 3 words.
Okay.
4 words.
Okay.
It was a joke. That's what they would say. It was a joke.
No, I don't think she was meaning it as a joke. She was, because she was making a point.
That's how they get out of every.
Here's what she said when somebody called her on it. She said, this is her tweet, totally agree with you. Super bad choice of words. Quote, totally agree with you. Super bad choice of words. I should have said water boy, like for football teams or something like that.
We can knock those stupid water boys off their high horse.
That's right.
They come in here in their ivory towers and
we're okay
lording
with
over
anti-water boy slurs.
Yes.
Taking them down.
Unless they're gay.
I had a similar situation like this when I worked at a radio station in Detroit.
You had a water boy in Detroit?
Nope.
No, a butt boy.
Possibly.
Okay.
So I worked at a little talk station there, and everybody else, the other stations were pretty progressive. We had an all-news station that just did 24-hour news, and we were news talk.
Right.
And everybody, or just about everybody that worked there, were very progressive. There was a gay newsman and a Muslim woman that did news as well. Out of all the progressives, those two loved us most of all because they didn't care. They were younger, and they're like, they know we got along great with them, right?
Right.
As we were leaving one day, the Muslim woman said something and said, something, you butt boys, as we were leaving. We didn't think anything else. About an hour or so later, she began to text us, very upset. I should not have said that, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Because one of her coworkers overheard it and said, how dare you say that? Wow. She started melting down. What if this other guy who was gay was here, whatever? Meanwhile, later on, we talked to him. He's like, I don't care. Right?
As most people would.
Right.
Just not give a
But they, on behalf of him, challenged her. She called and apologized, and we said, Zahara, you know us. She goes, I didn't even really knew what that meant. She just threw it out there.
Want to go to lunch?
Right. But that's what it is today.
Yes.
On behalf of others, I'll be offended. I don't care that she said it. I'm not offended by it. What offends me is her hypocrisy about it.
Yes. I don't care if you have a butt boy. Or 3 of them.
I didn't.
This is the seditious, rabble-rousing, liberty-loving, home of fun, entertaining, and compelling talk. MoJo 50.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. President Trump says he's no longer considering GOP Congressman Mark Meadows as a candidate to be his chief of staff. We get more from White House correspondent Greg Clugston.
The president spoke with Meadows yesterday, telling him that he's needed more in Congress than at the White House. Meadows is the chair of the conservative House Freedom Caucus and was on a short list of contenders to replace the outgoing John Kelly. The president says a lot of people want the chief of staff job, and he'll make a decision soon. Greg Clugston, Washington.
Yesterday, the president signed an executive order engaging 13 federal agencies to aid in the Opportunity Zones program.
With Opportunity Zones, we're drawing investment into neglected and underserved communities of America so that all Americans, regardless of zip code, have access to the American dream.
The program offers tax benefits for developers and investors to build in often neglected areas. It's all part of the 2017 tax reform law. The House has joined the Senate in approving a massive farm bill. Here's correspondent Wally Hines.
The measure flying through Congress after lawmakers dropped some controversial proposals that would have toughened work requirements for food stamp recipients. Critics had argued that would have thrown more than 1 million people off the program.
Both the president and Republicans had sought work requirements in an effort to be better stewards of U.S. tax dollars in that program. Britain's prime minister attends an EU gathering today in Brussels where she'll try to shore up support for the Brexit deal. She just survived a no-confidence vote yesterday.
She won is the headline. The party officially has confidence in Theresa May as its leader, but the margin of victory was not huge. She won by 200 votes to 117, so she got 63% of the votes cast. But that means that basically a third of her members of parliament don't support her and would rather she quit and was replaced by somebody else.
That's correspondent Jill Lawless. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Never Forgotten Apparel is more than just a premium women's and men's clothing line. It's a movement to remind us to wear American-made and serve those who serve us, our heroes. Never Forgotten Apparel gives 20% of their total sales to nonprofits that support homeless veterans and off-duty firefighters, and 50% to individual veterans and firefighters in need nationwide. Check out neverforgottenapparel.com, use promo code DOC, and get 15% off your purchase. That's neverforgottenapparel.com.
We've arrived.
What do you mean?
We've hit the big time.
What are you talking about?
I didn't tell you. We're live on MoJo 50 now.
Oh, that. I could have sworn they were just pulling a fast one on us.
Either that or someone at the top has had a mild stroke. Regardless, we now have to make a promo.
Okay, well, that seems simple enough. How long does this have to be?
I was told that we need to take about 60 seconds or so and tell everyone about ourselves.
All right. I was born in a blizzard in the bleak hours of the morning in November.
No, I don't think we need to go back quite that far.
All right, then. I'm Steven.
And I'm Dylan, and we're hosts of the Defenders of American Exceptionalism,
or DOAE show for short.
And we are live Wednesdays and Saturday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern on MoJo 50.
We go through the politics of today and how it affects the culture and vice versa. And we try to bring it back to the Constitution and the principles above privilege.
You know, I feel like there should be a shirt made with that on it.
Yeah, we already have that.
Oh, so don't forget to check us out. Defenders of American Exceptionalism live Wednesdays and Saturday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern on MoJo 50.
Never Forgotten Apparel is more than just a premium women's and men's clothing line. It's a movement to remind us to wear American-made and serve those who serve us, our heroes. Never Forgotten Apparel gives 20% of their total sales to nonprofits that support homeless veterans and off-duty firefighters, and 50% to individual veterans and firefighters in need nationwide. Check out neverforgottenapparel.com. Use promo code MATT, M-A-T-T, and get 15% off your purchase.
Mothership has landed.
Is that something you can actually share as your chuckle button? Or no?
Stephen English said, how about this, Brad? Can you find this tweet? Maybe you can read it without your glasses. That's better. That's better. Now you're Look, it wasn't... Look. It wasn't so much I was irritated as much as I was just disappointed.
He's not mad.
I know that you have such potential to be funny and entertaining.
He wants you to live to your full potential.
I really do, Stephen. I mean, I don't want to see somebody like you just wasting it all away.
Do you have any life advice for him since you're trying to get him to live to his full? I mean, you told people on social media they can step up their game, and that would help. But do you have any career or just life advice for him so he can reach his full potential?
In general, I
could probably help him out.
Please help.
Stephen, your life will be much better. You can really step up your game if you're not this so much.
It's because you
see this? You see Brad?
If you raise your sights too high, you can't obtain it, and you just get frustrated. Don't look at me as something
It's kind of a WWBD.
Yes. What would
Brad do? And then you do the other.
If you don't want to be successful.
Right.
I'm just saying.
So you go WWJD, that's what you do. WWBD, no.
ELS Jackal in Flagrante Delecto.
It's not so much that you're the Antichrist.
I would...
because I think that's reserved for some ladies you've known. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
It's Jesus is more of the anti-Brad. That's kind of a better way to look at it.
Yes, in tasteful terms, I would say that. High 4.5. Thank you for being the one who noticed that one, ELS Jackal. Did you hear the train? I just heard the train go by the beautiful MoJo River.
Oh, by the way, yeah, we're going to do take a picture in the next couple days or whatever. The beautiful MoJo River. It's, of course, how we got the name for MoJo 50 because our studios are right on the eastern banks of the beautiful MoJo River.
It was stunning this morning. The herons were out there. Bob and Susan and their two kids.
Yeah, they were sitting.
They were sitting out there just waiting for the sun to rise as I walked in, and it was. I mean, they were family picnic. It was beautiful. It was
little birds in the distance.
It was amazing. Those were birds.
Fawn and Frola.
Fawn and Frohla.
Fraun and Frohla. Mhm.
Exactly.
Here's something else. Stephen was looking for some. Wait, and again, don't be Brad.
You can't obtain this.
You should
You
also
can work for years and not get.
You can also call Patriot Mobile by 1-800-A-PATRIOT or log on to patriotmobile.com/doc, and that will make your life much, much better.
It's crazy talk, is what it is. That's crazy talk, or sane talk, any kind of talk you want it to be.
PatriotMobile.com/doc. You can certainly set some wrongs right, and you can help change the world just that much each and every day. And you only have to do the work once.
I was going to say, because I really don't. That's such
for 5 to 10 minutes of work today, tomorrow, to switch your phone service provider over to PatriotMobile.com/doc. To just change that 5-10 minutes each and every day moving forward, your life is going to be better, and you're out there doing work. And you're not actually doing anything because they're doing the work on your behalf. They take just a little bit of profits that they make and they distribute that to candidates and ideas and organizations and groups who support the ideas that you do. With just in a couple months, you're going to get politicians announcing that they're going to be challenging Donald Trump. And remember, we had the other mobile companies that started up that were doing this specifically to influence the past elections, and they've done that.
Yeah.
So this is an opportunity for you to battle. And you don't have to do anything. And you're going to stop giving your money to progressive companies like AT&T, which is horrible, by the way. Maybe the worst company in America. I'm saying, Brad, yeah, there is another contender.
Yeah.
There is another one. I would just say less people know about them is probably what it is. But if you go on and you do worst customer service, worst corporations with the worst customer service, you go down the list, AT&T is always near the top.
I was going to say they still might be behind that other one.
I said near the top.
Yes, exactly.
The other one's not a mobile service provider, though.
No.
PatriotMobile.com/doc. Check it out today. You will be very happy you did this. The customer service is amazing. It only takes a couple of minutes to switch over. They have great deals. You're going to save money more than likely. And, of course, the coverage is great.
Or if you don't want to be covered, you can stay at home and call them while you're naked, and you can be completely uncovered while you talk to your friends at Patriot Mobile.
PatriotMobile.com/doc.
And now, the totally acceptable racist joke of the day.
What are the 3 worst years of a white person's life?
I don't know. What are the 3 worst years of a white person's life?
First grade.
This has been the totally acceptable racist joke of the day.
I see what you did there, because white guys, they're stupid people.
Repeating the third grade.
Dumb. That would be first grade.
It took me 4.
Sorry, first grade.
For what?
Years to get out of first grade.
What do you mean?
My dad told me the story that when he was in 4th grade, that there was a kid in the class who the teacher said, You're not allowed in class anymore until you go home and shave your beard. You have to be clean shaven in this class, the 4th grade.
No beards.
So he had to go home and shave.
Right, shave. Yeah,
because
he's old.
That was Malvern.
Yeah,
my dad dated his sister Skeeter.
Sometimes the jokes are just for you.
Seriously, Malvern. He was in the 4th grade a long time, and he was white, by the way.
Yeah,
he was a white West Virginian.
Was there any question as to whether or not he was? I mean, come on.
Hey, our buddy Chef Patrick Mosier joining us now, the Food Biz Pro. On Twitter, it's at Food Biz Pro. Regularly heard weekday afternoons on Spoonie.com when he talks about food and all kinds of things food related.
A quick update. Lori D just got banned, is in Twitter jail for tweeting out cyclists and protesters run him over. They put her in Twitter jail.
Don't. What are you doing?
I'm just, the cyclist is the story that keeps on giving.
Do you realize I just did that? You're learning from that. Don't do that.
20 years later, and that cyclist is still putting them out.
And even if you're going to joke about something like that, that's not how you joke. The joke is not run them over. Do not do that.
Man. And I thought you were my friend, Lori. As a cyclist, I'm offended.
Yes. All right, let's get back. Stop stream of consciousness. Let's get back to what's going on. Chef Patrick Mosier.
Yes.
All right, what's going on? I saw a story about the food and drinks that millennials are killing. As of 2018, what food and drinks have millennials killed in 2018?
Well, we know that they have a lot of purchasing power, and they only buy what they want. So apparently, number 1 is American cheese. We talked about this before. Brad, you don't like American cheese?
No, I think American cheese is, and it only comes in those stupid slices. It's like cheese product.
It's like Cheese Whiz between plastic sheets. What's wrong with that?
Cheese Whiz.
Are potato chips like actually all exclusively potato when you eat these things and whatever?
Why are you looking at me? You're eating them too.
No, I'm just saying. You're saying it's like cheese product. Of course, it's cheese product, but you eat lots of things that are product.
American cheese is not cheese. You take a block of cheddar and you slice off a piece of cheddar, and that is cheese. That melts the right way.
No, you know what he's doing here. I don't know when you went all vagina here today, but here's what's going on.
I shall not
He
apologize.
simply does not like the taste of American cheese, but is doing the thing women do where they give you all this other excuses and back stuff instead of just saying, I don't like American cheese.
It doesn't act like cheese should act.
See what I'm saying? He's still doing it. Just say you don't like the flavor of American cheese.
The flavor's not so bad. It just doesn't. It just doesn't do. No, I'm sorry. It just
It's
doesn't
cheese.
work. No. It's not cheese.
Just because it came in tins, it's still
we all know,
cheese.
haven't we all been in this conversation with your wife and you're like, why don't you like, well, this, that, and the other, and you're like, well, that doesn't make any
I've
sense or
given
whatever.
you valid reasons that American cheese.
And here's
is
why
not cheese.
your reasons are not valid, because you eat other type of products that are product-like. I mean, your corn chips are not actually corn.
Or like
There's corn
Pringles
in
are
There's
not
some
actually
corn.
potato
There's some
chips.
cheese in American cheese.
This is mostly corn.
Okay.
Corn, right there at the top of the
There
ingredients.
is some corn. There's some cheese in American cheese.
There's some, but I think if you look at American cheese, I'll bet you it says like vegetable oil is the
Lecithin.
first. See, there you go.
I don't know.
So it's if anything starts with something other than the word cheese, it's not.
You
cheese.
mean like cheddar cheese? What is the
cheddar? Is a descriptor.
Is cheese the main?
Cheddar's a
is
descriptor.
main ingredient in cheddar cheese?
Yes,
I'm
cheese
thinking
is the
maybe
main
milk
ingredient.
is.
Shall we just?
I'm
you
just
know
doing,
what?
I'm
You're
doing
just
show prep for
wrong.
later.
You're just wrong.
Talk amongst
Okay.
yourselves. It's okay.
American cheese
American
is fantastic for what it is.
Whatever.
Am I saying it's a quality cheese? Ho, ho, ho. We'll come and eat the cheese and the wine. No, it is not.
It is. It doesn't melt the
But American
way it should.
but American cheese, in
Cheddar,
the right application,
cheddar cheese,
is
the
good.
number one ingredient, cheddar cheese, right there.
Yeah. It's processed.
So millennials have killed cheese. Why have they killed
Apparently.
American cheese?
You know, because it's processed. They don't like processed.
Right. Thank you. And it's
okay.
nasty.
What does processed mean? Really? Cheddar cheese is not made through a process?
Now, see, you're just trying to dumb down. You're doing what they all do. Those people that don't have a valid argument. You are just
It's perceived as being processed and therefore not good.
How is it not?
Well, they took a product, cheddar cheese, and turned it into something else, more processed. It's not healthy. It's got a lot of preservatives. That was That was the justification.
Thank you.
Here's what I hate about millennials for this is whatever. There's plenty of crap that they eat and do or whatever. It's whatever, but this is just one of those things they got in their head. That's all it is.
Pet peeve.
Right.
By the way,
Right. And by the way, millennials aren't eating a crap load of Doritos, a crap load of candy. Come on.
Oh, yeah. They have them delivered to their home at night.
Which is worse for you? Is Doritos and M&Ms and whatever, or a slice of American cheese?
Do you know what another word for processed cheese is?
What's that?
Cheese product.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, listen, and millennials, I have defended you about when people rip on millennials and say the things they're killing. They've just made choices. They're prioritizing, and I get that. I'm fine. When they say, you should be buying houses and all this stuff, you're killing the housing industry. I get it. You've prioritized, and I can actually respect that. But the craziness of picking and choosing certain food products where you're like, well, that isn't as healthy. And look around. Are they eating all that healthy with everything else?
I don't know that it's a health thing. It's when you want cheese, you want cheese. You don't want this. It's the Frankenstein of cheese. That's
It's not
what it is.
Velveeta.
Oh no, nothing is Velveeta. But it's just
wait. You like Velveeta?
No.
Oh, okay.
Nasty.
I was because that
No.
cheese bounces.
Yes, no, that Velveeta's nasty. It's not cheese either. And neither is American. It is not cheese. It is some
They're virtually identical, by the way.
I'm going to speak for Chef Patrick when I say challenge accepted.
Okay.
He's accepting your challenge
You're gonna make
to provide cheese products made or dishes made from these cheese products.
That I'll be stunned when I bite into it and go, wow, that's American cheese in there? That's what I'm going to say?
No, you'll know it's American, but you'll go, that's amazing.
No, because I'll know it's American, so I'll immediately.
So you're automatically biased? You're bringing your bias in?
Yes, absolutely.
You're not going to judge it on its merits?
No, I'm going to judge it that it has American cheese in it, which is the code for lie to me and don't tell me what it is, and then I'll tell you if it's good, and then I'm going to be able to tell because good grief, it's
okay. I can clean this up before we move on.
Yes.
Apparently, Brad has an ex who really likes American cheese.
This is over years.
What other food products and drinks did millennials kill in 2018?
Well, if you're upset about the American cheese, then the next one should really push your buttons. It's beer.
Mm-hmm.
Beer.
What do you mean? How do they kill beer?
They drink wine instead of beer.
Bunch of pussies.
No, so they actually downgraded some of the larger breweries in the country, including Constellation Brands and Boston Beer Company, which is Sam Adams. They were downgraded by Goldman Sachs because their volume went down. The demand is lower.
Huh. But aren't craft breweries going
better?
Actually, not in that generation. They drink more wine than beer by far.
We're doomed,
aren't we?
We're doomed. These are
listen,
millennials?
wine is great too.
I love wine,
but
no wine. No, wine is headache in a glass.
You want to come over to my American cheese and wine party?
Brad, moderation.
No, any glass of wine. I can't. It gives me a headache.
Really, all of
Plus,
it?
you look like. I mean, come on. You're standing there holding the glass. It's just. You feel like you'd crush that glass at any moment. You give me a beer bottle.
Yeah, that's a little disturbing to me. When you said beer, I just assumed you meant like mass-produced, like Budweiser and stuff like that. And I'm fine with that because I only drink the microbrews type stuff.
Yes, but Budweiser isn't really beer. That's
nope. Even craft brews. Oh! They do love good craft brew. What does that mean? Good craft brew.
Craft brew.
Yeah. Any craft.
Good craft.
Anything
brew.
that's not bitter. Anything that's not hoppy.
They like the hops though.
I like
That's
hops.
pretty popular.
No, they like hopping.
You don't like
around.
IPAs, Brad?
No. I don't like bitter stuff.
Okay, so that's not great. What else?
So
what other food, drink, and food service type things have they killed in 2018?
Next one's debatable. Brunch, according to the New York Times and the New York Post.
They've killed brunch? They don't go to brunch?
No, they go to brunch too much. They've lengthened the lines. They've lengthened the lines and taken over the dining rooms. Therefore, other diners are upset. They've killed brunch.
So their run to it everyone else avoids it then.
Yes.
I've never liked brunch. It seems
You
like
don't like brunch?
Seems like a way. It takes up too much of the. It's a weird time thing. It's like have breakfast either early or have lunch, but brunch is that's that mid morning. You're wasting time.
It's for the
Because you're
night
waiting
after
around,
you
you can't do anything before it, yet it
Right.
takes too much of the middle of the day.
Yes.
to do
That's
that.
a night after a hangover in a glass. Too much hangover in a glass.
Here's the thing about brunch. My biggest problem with brunch, I think brunch is great. Especially the concept. I mean, I like non-breakfast foods for breakfast quite often. A lot of people, gotta have breakfast foods for breakfast, except when it's brunch, it's unacceptable to have, a shaved roast beef or something like that.
11 o'clock's the cutoff, right?
Right, whatever. So I love that variety. Brunch is usually a buffet type style, whatever. So I do like brunch. The problem is almost all brunches or brunch, breakfast buffets or whatever are crap. Almost all of them suck. You get here it is. Ready? You get bad cantaloupe and honeydew.
Yes.
Unripe honeydew and cantaloupe that you might as well be eating soap. It has no good flavor.
And it's kind of slimy.
And it's slimy, and everyone, I got to have some fruit.
So hard you break a tooth.
Would it be that hard to just throw in a strawberry now and then, some grapes, some other fruit, damn it?
Piece of pineapple.
Right. That's it. Then what do you get? You get usually mass-produced scrambled eggs that are not done well. They're either too runny or they've sat in that stupid container, the chafing dish, for 4 hours, and they're all crusty and nasty, and they refuse to bring out new until you get that last damn scoop in there.
And they've got American cheese on them. Nasty.
And then you'll get usually bacon, which is almost always undercooked. Sometimes some sausage patties, something like that. This is
bad
it.
ones at that, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, the sausage patties are usually rubbery.
And if you do end up at a place where it's a little nicer and they're making some omelets or something like that, it's usually pretty expensive.
Yes.
The lines are long because we're all waiting to it's just not done right. You go to brunch at a really great place like the Jefferson Hotel in Richmond. By the way, on our tour, damn it, is that a Sunday? Oh my gosh. Refigure the entire calendar because we're going to brunch at the Jefferson. It's not cheap. This is a more upscale thing. It used to be around $40-50, probably gone up a little bit since I've been there. It is an several hour. They have champagne, so you can tie one on.
Ooh, we could call ahead and get spoon bread.
Spoon bread. Love the spoon bread. It's awesome.
Yep.
What
All
day?
right.
What day's the tour start? The 27th is a what?
28th.
Monday. 28th?
Monday.
Okay. Where we go? Which stop is it? 'Cause,
It's Richmond. It's Virginia.
I'll figure it out.
All right. What else have millennials killed in the world of food and drink?
I'm not disappointed by this one, but it's canned tuna.
I saw that.
Are they, I imagine they perceived health or not as healthy. Is that it?
Well, and the overfishing of tuna.
What?
Now I hate you. I was fine with you saying healthy and I get it or whatever. The overfishing. So you're going to stop.
Do you know what the Stark who is like? I'm guessing all the major brands. I don't know how many brands of tuna there are, but they're missing a huge opportunity.
What's that?
Schooner tuna, the tuna with a heart.
Oh my! Well, especially with the poor economy.
Yes.
If they just roll back their prices,
exactly.
I can see it now. Maybe the president of the company stands and just waves a little
little
flag at the end,
back and forth,
and he says, "When these tough economic times are over, we'll resume our regular prices.
Right.
But for now, we're going to drop each can by maybe a quarter." Spooner tuna. What is that?
Schooner tuna.
Schooner tuna with
tuna with a heart.
Tuna with a heart.
This
Have
is
to think
got
about that
legs.
one.
It's genius.
Why just roll out Charlie? Remember Charlie?
So, Starkist.
Sorry, Charlie.
Starkist doesn't want tunas with
So
good
the
taste.
overfishing is the reason they have a problem with
Actually, they just think it tastes crappy. Canned tuna does not taste good.
Which is
It's
why
shocking
you put
because
mayonnaise.
it's the chicken of the sea.
You put
It is.
mayonnaise
It
and
is.
some onions and some relish in it.
It's
What
delicious.
else have they killed?
Oh, chain restaurants.
Well, who
I
wants
just
to
wish
go to a
they'd kill
restaurant
bad
and
chain restaurants.
No, I mean, well, so Applebee's, Buffalo Wild Wings, TGI Fridays, they're all pretty much they're going under. And not just that, I went to a local chain.
Going under
regional-
or struggling?
They're struggling, and some of them are going to go under.
Okay.
Yeah, like Chili's just dropped like half their menu last year.
Did they really?
40%.
And
Cost. They can't produce it all and sell enough of each item to maintain them on the menu.
Number one, it's capitalism, it's free market, so I support, whatever happens, let the people choose with their vote with their money, and you're good with it. Personally, I like some chain restaurants, and I think they have their place. I think we became over-chained restaurant. I mean, I like the idea. I mean, some of it, I'm admitting, some of it's is the experience, and it's not really about the quality of food in that.
Absolutely.
You like the idea of being at a local place out in a little, downtown area or something.
And
right?
what's the difference really between TGI Fridays and some of those other ones, like the O'Charlie's? They all feel the same. It all feels like the same food.
And you remember what the format was for 20 years. It's like, okay, put the name out there, and then the designer comes in and just throws all kinds of weird stuff on the walls.
Oh yeah, like the one's an Irish pub.
Yeah, but you still put up snow shoes,
random crap.
You
License
put up
plates.
all of that stuff, right? You still, and that became their thing.
It's like if you go to Cracker Barrel, basically.
But then we try to make it local by, in the little entranceway, we put up pictures of the local sports mascots and high school teams.
Oh, the old pictures though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Exactly.
And the sex offenders.
So yeah, I mean, okay.
They just prefer to dine in. Actually, they don't dine out as much, and when they do, they want to go to a locally owned and operated restaurant.
And I read where they used like things like Grubhub more.
Absolutely, they
delivery.
They have most of their meals are delivered or pre-prepared.
Huh. So they're lazy, is what you're saying. Did you just
why do you
call-
think Uber? Yes, that's why Uber Eats now goes through McDonald's for you.
Right. By the way, that along with that, they're also killing kitchens.
That's the next one. Yes, because they don't cook as much.
You mean in the house? In
the household, yeah.
How are they, wait, when you say killing kitchens?
They're not as interested in first of all big houses. Number two, if it is a kitchen, they want a smaller kitchen, and they don't use them, right?
Okay, so it's not so a nice kitchen is not as big a selling point. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Well, and also they just
they
don't buy the appliances, etc. That's necessary to stock a kitchen
all the
in a
different
household.
things, yeah.
Pots, pans,
Well, and
countertop
then
stuff.
so what that means is the housing industry, the new homes you're buying now, you'll see less of an emphasis on the kitchen, smaller,
right,
whatever.
and it won't be the room of the house you get your money back when you remodel.
Right.
Well, and these communal kitchens within a community of homes, which are basically an apartment building, they have one kitchen for 4 apartments. That's coming back
Because it's less emphasis. They're only in there. Why
lot
pay
of
the
loft
money
style
for?
home.
Which, by the way, stuff like that is
stupid.
You've got to give them credit for because they realize they're not using it. Why pay for it?
Why pay for it? Exactly.
So
they
good,
only
they're
pay for what they
prioritizing.
want. They only buy what they
Right.
want.
If you're saying, I'm only in the kitchen, I use it like 4% of the time, all right, share it with
As
somebody
a
else.
woman, you're saying that.
Right, because men, women are the ones that make sandwiches.
Exactly.
Except when a man decides to cook professionally, and then they're better than women.
Of course, yeah.
So, another way
Why
they're
are
better
you-
than women.
why are you stating
I'm
the
sorry for
obvious?
stating the obvious here. That's on me. But when you said that about remodeling, here's what's going to happen with some of these trends. Millennials will learn. Quite often, we as generations all end up close to the same place down the road at retirement. There are variations, and we have different attitudes, but we're not so far away at the end or towards the end of the journey. We just get there in different places or different times, different points. Millennials were killing houses a few years ago. They were not buying houses as young. Now, the housing industry is being flooded by millennials who are a little bit older. They waited to buy, and now they're buying the houses. Housing industry could do very well in the next couple of years. To your point, Brad, about the kitchens, if they're not using them now, they may 10 years from now.
Right.
So you get a smaller one, modest, and you upgrade.
Kitchens will never. They will always be in houses. It's
Then bigger ones. Large turkeys they're killing.
Yeah. So
before they eat them.
No, like killing. They're not buying large turkeys.
They say one of two things. Nobody eats that much. You don't need that large a bird. And number two, that they're pumped full of hormones and unhealthy, other. It's an unhealthy way you raise the bird. They've been genetically modified, so they like smaller turkeys. But they buy more of them, so I don't know what the difference is.
Sounds like a euphemism.
Well, and maybe they're buying more like fresh and free range and all that stuff, which I'll give you that.
they're talking about organic and naturally raised.
But as far as nobody eats that much, stop it. Your first one's a failure. So if you're telling me, listen, I don't want the big turkey, it's not as healthy, and I prefer, the difference between a frozen and a fresh turkey varies. But you're still making two of them, then I'm good
We
with
all
it.
know Thanksgiving's about the leftovers anyway.
It really is. Used to be something you'd mock because you didn't want them, and now, yeah. So anyways, I'd make the two turkeys. That's fine as long as they're, so. All right, Chef Patrick Mosier coming up this afternoon at 3 p.m. Eastern time. I was waiting for him to jump in.
I was thinking, where am I going to be?
Yeah, it's
Not at what
it's going to
time.
be you and on the Spoonie
Spoonie.com.
thing. Yeah.
Check it out. That Spoonie thing. All right. Get your communiques in. It's at Doc Thompson Show, at Real Brad Staggs, at Food Biz Pro.
We won't read those either. So.
High capacity, fully automatic, large caliber, Freedom. MoJo 50.
By the Numbers with Andrew Coppins is powered by TarRiverArms.com. They've revolutionized online firearm sales with high-resolution pictures, 3D imaging, and the best prices. How much will you save? Find out at TarRiverArms.com. That's TarRiverArms.com.
Today's number, 10.7 million, which was the number of illegal immigrants that were in the United States in 2016, according to numbers from the Pew Research Center. That may seem like a very large number, but the overall number of illegal immigrants in the country is actually decreasing. The number was much larger even a decade ago, capping off at 12.2 million in 2007, and those numbers are from the Census Bureau's American Community Survey. Let's think about this. A nearly 2 million decline in the number of illegal immigrants in the United States? Kind of a big deal. It also flies directly in the face of the prevailing narrative in many circles that illegal immigration is getting worse and more out of control by the year. And as long as we're talking declining illegal immigration, what about the effect of deportations on the situation? According to ICE numbers, overall deportations declined in the first year of President Donald Trump's administration, going from 240,000 to just over 220,000. However, enforcement in the interior took a dramatic rise up, going from 65,000 to just over 80,000 in fiscal year 2017. It will be interesting to see what effect those numbers have on the overall illegal immigration numbers in 2017. Also, did Trump's rhetoric and new immigration laws have a large effect? We don't have the 2017 numbers yet, but they will be very telling towards the narrative that prevails in both the media and conservative circles. Regardless of what side of the immigration debate you fall on, we should all know that a declining number of illegal immigrants is a good thing for the United States. This has been By the Numbers. I'm Andrew Coppins, and you can follow me on Twitter at The Coppins Show.
All right, by the way, one thing, because Chef Patrick apparently was really triggered by this and we didn't get to it. One of the things millennials are killing, mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise, yes. They think that's an unhealthy lifestyle choice.
I suppose they think smoking's bad for you too, idiots.
Oh, no, that's fine, as long as it's vaping.
That's not smoking. That would be
What,
vaping.
what the hell's wrong with mayonnaise?
Yeah, what is wrong with
Nothing
it?
wrong with mayonnaise.
It's unhealthy.
What's
It's,
what's in it that's unhealthy?
I don't know. It's eggs and oil. What's wrong with that? You can even choose to have avocado mayonnaise.
Well, the problem is, check your mayonnaise. Most mayonnaise should be oil
3 or
and
4
eggs.
ingredients.
I'm getting that on a bumper sticker.
But they're not.
No, and it could be a healthy oil. You can make it with olive oil. Something. By the way, if you're making mayonnaise with olive oil, choose the light flavored olive oil.
Yeah,
It gets
it's
a
a
little
little
heavy
strong.
if not. But you can make it with these things. Problem is, most mayonnaises have all this unnecessary stuff in it.
Yes, doesn't most.
It's the
everything else, though.
preservatives.
Everything else has
It's so you can leave it out on the counter overnight and you can still eat it the next morning. Because
Okay.
otherwise, eggs, raw eggs, and all that other stuff, it goes. Don't you die of botulism if you eat it?
Well,
the
you,
next
can
day?
you can pasteurize it. Just don't leave it out.
Or it makes your lips look really full.
Right. So, but yeah, okay. I think it's it's about something else.
As long as they're not replacing it with Miracle Whip, I'm okay.
I think it's about something else.
What?
It is about racism.
Oh, really?
We have this push. White people too much power.
Right.
We've got to take down some of these white things.
You say you're suggesting
It's about
the white
diversity
thing.
and the racism and white privilege.
Okay.
Not white as in mayonnaise is white, although that may have part of it.
Right.
Mayonnaise. White people eat mayonnaise, and nobody else does.
Officer and a gentleman. Mayonnaise.
There's not a minority around. It's exclusively white people, and it's a secret club.
When was the last time you saw a black person eating mayonnaise?
They never have.
No.
They don't do it. So white people, it's like, you know what? We've got to not eat. It's white privilege is what it is. I think that's what's going on here.
I think that a hidden agenda. I get it now.
It's astute.
So are we going to have some sort of office Christmas party?
I hope not.
Are we going to have some sort of, I just curious. There was an office Christmas party holiday event that was going to be a potluck and a secret Santa in Utah for state offices.
You haven't been to a party until you've been to a party in Utah.
A government office party in Utah.
Oh, man.
Those are
the pictures that come out of those parties. Talk about mayonnaise.
Swinging from the rafters.
Oh,
Jagdesh, Muhammad, you'll have a lot to talk about
yes,
here.
Yes, you will.
Yeah. Thousands of people ended up getting invited to one office Christmas party. Yeah. So what happened was somebody sent an email about an office potluck and secret Santa. And somebody replied, all.
Nice.
Ooh. 25. This is 2018. 25,000 state workers got it. Many of them responded what they would bring, what they wouldn't. Some realized it wasn't their office and said, I shouldn't be getting this. And what that meant was everyone who got it then got bing, 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 bing. And then other people said, stop sending these. Bing, 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 bing. It spiraled out of control. And then somebody tweeted out, stop replying to all, It just went crazy. People started taking screenshots and posting it on social media. The governor's lieutenant, Utah's lieutenant governor, couldn't untangle his. I mean, it was just taking over. Like they couldn't even stop him. Wow. And he said, this is real and it's an emergency.
Yes. It's an emergency.
It wasn't Secret Santa. It was a white elephant gift exchange. Excuse me.
Oh, that's even worse.
Yeah, exactly.
That's even worse.
So they were trying to figure out what was going to happen with this whole thing and untangle the whole thing.
What do you get in a white elephant gift exchange in Utah?
I don't know. What do you give a white elephant game exchange in Utah?
I think I know what you get.
What?
You get a crap load of unnecessary emails.
That's Yep.
Surprise.
What's funny that this still is able. Didn't most of the companies fix this 15 years ago? I had this happen at a group of radio stations. I told you stations kept being bought up company after company, and they kept building bigger and bigger companies. So we had people nationwide, tens of thousands of employees in one day. Someone sent one and responded all, and it started this. And other people kept saying, stop replying all. Then other people said, you are making it worse by replying all. And then they responded to that one. That was 15 years ago.
I worked at a place where you could send out. There was a point up until which anybody could send out a company-wide email, and no matter what, if you had information you needed to disseminate or whatever, until somebody replied to all with a joke, and then no one was allowed to send out any company email simply because somebody had
even
replied,
if necessary.
even if
which
necessary.
is the other extreme,
right? Yeah. So even if I had something important to say, I wasn't able to send out a company-wide email without going through like 3 or 4 people filters that had to okay them.
Probably not a bad idea for me.
Here's a little tip for you. Most of your company emails, you can still send it out to all, even if they tell you can't.
How do you do it?
Well, you got to figure it out. Most will not.
Thank you.
I mean, every system's a little different is what I mean. Well, listen. So one of them, you can't reply all. They won't let you do that. It blocks that. And if you go and look for, company-wide all, they usually won't let you do that. It doesn't come up in your list.
Right.
But a lot of times, if you just look and do all at or one of those combinations, you can still figure it out. Yeah. Or if you go back and find one before they banned it, it's the same name.
Same email address, yeah.
It just doesn't come up in your list.
And why the hell are we still using emails 30 years later anyway?
I don't know. All right, real quick, got to get to a guest here, but first I got to remind people to save their heart. Bradley J. Staggs, how do people save their heart?
Oh, it's very simple. You go to saveyourheart.com, saveyourheart.com, or call 800-77-HEART. I remembered. See?
And how did you remember? How did I tell you?
Because in 1977, the group Heart had a hit.
With? Barracuda was the key to it.
Why was Barracuda? I don't even need to know Barracuda. I just know 77 and Heart had a hit.
But I taught you it.
But you did say Barracuda.
Just like, what is the capital of New Mexico?
Bismarck.
No, it's Santa Fe. Because Santa Claus is not coming this year. Santa Fe is coming.
I knew it was one of those
things. And what's the capital of Arkansas?
Westbrook.
Little Rock. Because an R can saw a little rock.
See? That's why I learn everything I know from you, including how an active sex life can cut a man's risk of dying from heart disease in half. Did you know that?
I didn't, but tell me more.
Did you know that for men, having an orgasm 3 or 4 times a week might offer potent protection against a heart attack or
All
a
this
stroke?
does is prove that our wives are trying to kill us.
Yes, they are. Yeah.
They're trying to kill us.
I see. Yes, that's a...
By the way, don't share this story with me.
Think for a
You
second.
share it with our wives. You share it with the ladies. Man, this story is not for you. That fact is not for you.
So,
other than you can casually leave that on the nightstand in printed form for your wife to see.
And the Pauling therapy formula is the antidote.
Do you want me to die, honey? Is that what you're saying? Do you think I want to be obligated to have sex 3-4 times a week?
You know, the chore.
I'm doing this for my health. I understand that you're busy and you're stressed. That's fine. We are going to have to find some workaround.
And her name is Bambi.
Her name is Stephanie.
Yeah.
I mean, just randomly, the fact that I mentioned the babysitter who lives next door,
Bambi's her stage name.
And that was just a random name.
Something that'll get you less in trouble with the wife is the Pauling therapy formula.
Well, you can do
you
that,
can find
too.
that at saveyourheart.com. And this is simple. It's not magic. It's science.
Ladies, here's what you want. This is your rebut. When your husband gives you the saving lives sex, you just go, call 877-HEART.
Yeah. And then you don't have to do the chore. You just have to order the...
See, there's something for everybody on this broadcast. Ladies, I'm helping you out as well. Stave off your husband's unwanted advances by simply telling him go to saveyourheart.com.
Exactly.
Right?
Saveyourheart.com.
Just go ahead and give him the stiff arm right there. Stiff arm him right there by saying 77-HEART. 877-HEART.
It's been fun. I'm going to leave on a high note here.
Too late.
All right. Thank you, Chef Patrick Mosier. Moving on. Joe Cantafio. How are you, sir?
Very good. How you guys doing today?
I'm doing well. Did I get it right, Cantafio?
Perfect. That is
perfect.
See this?
Nice.
That's why they know me as the name guy.
That's the first one you've gotten right in 10 years.
That's right.
Good for you.
And it was spelled out phonetically, and Tom told me 32 times how
There
to
you
pronounce
go.
it.
That helps.
Tom, what is your organization? Tom, what is your organization, your charity?
Tom or Joe?
I'm sorry, Joe. Sorry about that. I was talking about Tom. So I got Cantafio right, and I screwed up his first name. My bad.
Yeah, it's all right.
Well, we quietly are under the radar with this organization, but it's the National Veterans Museum.
And you're working to build a museum eventually, right?
Correct. we're working. You know, we came public with it a few years ago, and we had some not too nice people kind of come in on us. So our chairman, General Jim Conway, the 34th Commandant of the Marine Corps, and I and our board of directors said, let's bring the whole thing under the radar until we're ready to announce. So we've been working with the team. Sometimes it's up to 200 people. It's actually a little more than that, with our construction people and architects and all their subs and our landscape architects and museum designers, but and of course our great funders. And but we decided just to keep it quiet until we're ready to go. We saw something horrible happen in Chicago a couple of years ago, where the great George Lucas tried to announce that he wanted to put a museum in Chicago. And if you can believe it, the people downtown said, no, we don't want a museum in Chicago like that. It's going to ruin the environment, et cetera. So we said, let's just keep it quiet until we own everything, until the shovels are in the ground, and then we'll announce.
That makes a lot of sense. You're a veteran, right?
No, actually, no. I'm a USO entertainer.
Oh, that's what I was
did serve overseas in the sandbox with all of our great troops, but only with a guitar. I didn't have a weapon.
So we've got a tour coming up that we announced, and it's going to kick off on or about Memorial Day. It'll go for 50 days, and state to state broadcast in each state, and then on to the next state to raise money and promote veterans charities so they can help veterans help themselves. And it's really frustrating for me, Joe, that we're in this place where again it's just a cycle. Stories come out about veterans the Veterans Administration failing veterans, and everyone wrings their hands and says, oh, the veterans or whatever, but they don't actually do anything. And I find that very frustrating.
Oh, you're right. You're right. It's so sad. So sad.
Would you be willing
to come home from battle and they have a... Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, would you be willing to help us out? You have a USO background. Would you be willing to help us out on this tour?
Absolutely.
You should probably let him quantify that before you agree.
No. He's on the record now. That's all that matters.
Now we have it recorded.
Tell us about your days in the USO.
Well, it was very interesting. So I was a full-time musician for many years. I was actually Dick Clark's guitar player on his live tours.
Oh, wow.
So I've backed up guys like Chuck Berry and Bo Diddley and Jerry, and on and on. It's like 50, 60 of these artists. The original Shirelles, the original Coasters, and on. And after 13 years of being a full-time musician, I decided I needed to make some money. So I became a stockbroker. What a crazy thing.
Holy crap. That's
did pretty well with it and friended, and still was a weekend warrior with my band, and friended a lot of people, and some of my traders were New York guys. And 3 of them were at Cantor Fitzgerald, and unfortunately we lost all 3 on September 11th. And just heartbroken and sad and confused, I decided to take the guitar out and do a project called Let Freedom Sing. And so I went to New York. I ended up adopting a New York firehouse and became friends with all of them. And I gave them a year of my life. And I just did gigs all over the Chicago area. And then I went to New York. And then the firefighters needed to get out of New York because of the gruesome job they were doing of cleaning up Ground Zero, and give them a little break. And so we were raising money and giving them vacations, 4 or 5 day vacations. And then we started touring the country. And as I came close to the end of my year, one of the brothers of a firefighter that was lost, his name was Cliff Russell, said, how do I continue to heal when you're done? And I said, well, we'll take it to the troops. So the next thing I know, he made a call, and I get a call from the then Speaker of the House, Dennis Hastert, and they send me a bunch of paperwork, and I fill it out, and I put a great band together with Jonathan Brandt from Cheap Trick and Ronnie Stetta from the Turtles, and I was the lead singer, guitar player, and Timmy Scruggs and Vic Lubinecki, and we went overseas for a month. And we did 2 to 3 shows a day, played everywhere. There's a picture of us playing in Saddam Hussein's palace, and I said, I always wanted to play the palace, just not that one, but we did it. And things that people don't know how some people actually are upset that we would do that. And, these were innocent people, and the Americans came in, and it was like, no. I saw a torture chamber in the basement of the dungeon of the palace where he would drop his citizens in acid baths and put them in meat grinders. I mean, it was gruesome. And so when he was hung, you didn't hear anybody complaining. None of his people were.
Know, right?
There was no riots in the street. It was, and when Uday and Kusei were killed, I think they ended up with 100 bullets each. Nobody was upset about that.
Right.
The world is a better place because those three people are off of it. And what I, Dr. Brad, what I really took out of this tour is nobody is understanding what our troops are doing. Nobody gets the sacrifice that these guys are making. So I come home and I get a call from a guy named Tony Weber, a brilliant museum designer down in Texas. And he wants to meet with me to get an idea of something that I would suggest. And together we created the National Veterans Museum. And it's a $6 billion project. Wow. And it's going to be fantastic. We have our funding right now has all been approved. We're just waiting for the first monies to hit the account. And we'll probably still keep it quiet for a while. And so I continue to play in VI. In fact, I just did a Christmas party at the Hines Veteran Hospital here in the Chicago area yesterday. And I continue to do concerts and anything for veterans. So, yeah, I know that you want to help veterans, and I want to help you help veterans. So let me know what you need me to do.
That's great, Joe. I really appreciate it. It's. I think you're right. We don't fully, even those of us that concentrate on it, don't really fully understand what active duty are going through right now at any given point. And we don't appreciate the veterans that have come home because we don't really think that America has any threats to it. We don't. We go to work, and I go out in the morning, my car starts, and there's, I get that Egg McMuffin and whatever it is.
Yeah.
But we don't really think that there's, come on, America, no one's going to invade us. Yeah. There's not going to. And even, my generation, Generation X and baby boomers before us, unless you remember probably World War II, it's not going to play the same way. Obviously, those that remember or had a parent or they were active in Korea or Vietnam have some of that as well. But those were different wars. Those were not in America. People protested, but nobody thought, hey, the Vietnam War, we're going to be invaded. Right, that was over there.
Never happened.
Right? Even World War II was over there, but at any given moment, Hitler, the bomb, it could happen. We're just too far removed from it. Yeah. We're safe and we're secure. So when those people come home, we can just step over them.
Where is the museum going to be located?
It'll be in the Chicago area. I don't want to name the city yet. We announced a city a few years ago. Mm-hmm. We went all out. It was in the paper, and businesses started buying around at the site. And we don't want anybody around us.
Right.
We want to buy it out. So we're looking at a large plot of land now. And just keep everybody away from the veterans in the museum.
You'll tell us, of course, before, so we can buy some up, though, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, good.
Absolutely.
I'll be opening up a Subway restaurant very, very close to the location of the museum.
Yes. Oh, the plans are pretty specific. There are, I think, 20 restaurants that are going to be involved in this complex. So
that'll be really neat. Excellent.
Troops got to eat.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and one of the things we want to focus on with the tour, because it's easy for people to, overlook what active duty go through, and then obviously veterans, is the alternative treatments and benefits that we can provide. Most veterans, when I talk to them, they're almost uncomfortable with this idea of helping veterans.
Yeah.
Not that they're not appreciative,
hit the nail.
right? But they don't want to be a burden.
The nail on the head.
Joe, they help other people.
They're humble.
Right. They're
humble. They're humble. They don't want to talk about their great service to our country. They come home and there's a big party and it's great. In the motorcycle groups that are so great in honoring and protecting these guys. Show up at the airport and make a big procession home, and there's cakes and the neighbors are out and signs in the yard, American flags. And then the next day they wake up to nothing.
Well,
maybe a pat on the back.
Yep.
And it's over. That's it.
Well,
and then they
a couple of
struggle
veterans pointed out to me
what they were promised.
And what was the movie we went to see? Can't remember the.
Oh.
Anyway, they make the point that these are guys who are given the utmost responsibility, literally, not just fluff and pomp and circumstance. Their lives are hanging in their hands, not just their friends, but service. They are given responsibilities of millions of dollars worth of equipment and life and death, and then they're home the next day. And they have, a different world, not the same responsibilities. People, don't understand them, overlook them, like you said. So how do we help veterans? We help them by setting the systems in place so they can help themselves. It's not a handout.
Correct.
It's a Veterans Administration. Do your job. Give them the services they need. Stop just pumping them full of meds. And what that means is some of these other treatments that as we go on tour, I want to focus on, service animals or some of these groups where people get together, and veterans get together and they go out hunting, fishing, whatever, hyperbaric chambers, stuff like this. These are some of the things we need to focus on.
You hit on something, and I've examined this. General Conway and I sat in General Shinseka's office when he was the director of the VA. Mm-hmm. And it was something that I told him, and he was kind of shocked that I would even say this to him. I said, your job is overwhelming. You're overwhelmed, and it's not your fault. The VA was set to take care of the veterans that served in World War I, the Great War. There'd never be another war like it. So all these hospitals were put in place around the country to take care of those guys. They never expected World War II, Korea, Vietnam, all the other police actions that, happened in between there. And now this, 14-year, 15-year war, and they're overwhelmed. And so what I say is, the VA is doing the best they can. They're actually doing, I'm in the VA hospitals all the time. They are doing the best that they can. But it's so big that citizens need to step up. We need to help. John Kennedy said, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. Well, this is a perfect example of Americans stepping up and helping our veterans. Get them a job. We have an organization that it's just a bunch of civilians, some veterans, and we find jobs for veterans. And I meet a lot of corporate heads. I'll show up with my guitar and do something, and they're like, "Oh, Joe, it's so great to meet you." And I said, "I need a favor. Anything. Tell me anything." I said, "Can I count on 10 jobs a year from you?" And some of them go, "Well, we have to go through HR." Look, sorry for asking. If you're the CEO of your company and you can't guarantee me 10 jobs for veterans, then I don't want to talk to you. Most of them say, absolutely. And so I have a list. And when I had a guy in Texas call. He was going to college, but he needed a job. He's got 2 kids. He's a Marine. So I called my friend, and he got him a job and working in a store. Well, the guy graduated college. He's now the manager.
Nice.
Of a large department store down in Texas. And he keeps going, "I don't know how to thank you." I said, no, thank you. This is what? I made a phone call. I did nothing.
Joe,
you sacrificed your life.
How can people find out more about you? And do you need donations? Do you need investments for your museum and that?
No, I don't. We don't need right now. We don't need anything.
Okay.
We have. That's the way we set up now. Once we announce, there'll be a button on our website. We've even taken our website down. But right now, we are working, as we call it, under the radar to get this whole thing set up. We don't want to. Gotcha. We're going to do this. We don't want to tell people what we're going to do.
Well, when you're ready, let us know when you're ready. Hopefully, it'll be sometime as we're on our tour prepping for that, and we can work together. But Joe, thanks so much, buddy. I appreciate you sharing.
You guys, and thanks for what you do. This is important. Talk about it.
Will do.
Somebody out there today just got an idea.
Yep.
And they're going to do something. Like I did. I got a guitar and stood on street corners and at train stations.
There
and
you
it
go.
turned into this.
Joe Cantafio. Thanks, buddy.
All right.
Have a great day.
Care.
Joe Cantafio, and I want to have him on, so hopefully he'll work with us on this stuff. Got some really good stuff coming up.
Yeah.
All right. I think we got to find out what people learned today.
What do you mean it's let's go?
All righty. That is it, ladies and gentlemen, the end of your Daily Mojo. But before we go, as always, let's find out what we learned today. We learned many Nigerian princes are currently being incarcerated in Kenya.
Right? And someone needs to speak for them.
We learned if it takes you 7 months to stop sexually assaulting, you're doing it wrong.
Maybe it's really good. They just don't want to stop.
I would say, 2 months to stop should be plenty.
I would think.
We learned at least one of Brad's exes loved American cheese. And finally today, I learned word association, Amy Schumer. Bradley J. Staggs, what, if anything, did you learn today?
Well, ironically, I learned that someone had sex with Amy Schumer. Wow. I also learned apparently Mel B, she's a Spice Girl, has an alligator-filled moat at the bottom of her stairs at her home. Because you see, she cut off a hand falling down. I also learned that Mika's unsung moment this morning was her gift of the best rock band name ever.
What is it? Was that it?
Close. Pathetic Reflections. That was, I'm just saying, that's a great
Reflections or deflections?
Oh, deflections.
Yeah, because she said that's a pathetic deflection when you are challenging on it. Okay.
Yes. So I also learned that American cheese is neither, and the bumper sticker of the day, courtesy of Doc Thompson, check your mayonnaise.
All right, good. Actually, let's do that in the future. Bumper, because like band names, that could be a thing. All right.
You think so?
What, if anything, did the listeners learn today?
Over on the Twitter, Let's Be Frank in PA learned that Real Brad Staggs gets really moody and bitchy on Fridays. Okay, I'm not moody, I'm not bitchy, and it's not Friday. So up yours. Kirk, Baloney, Pony, and Cheese.
That's really kind of moody and bitchy.
Food Biz.
You say up yours.
Look.
Moody and bitchy.
Look.
Food
Biz Pro finally had more to say than 3 words about without Brad Staggs interrupting him and ringing the bell every 2 to 3 seconds.
Thank you.
That is my job. Look, if you people are going to be bitchy and moody all day long today, I'm just taking the rest of the weekend off.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. The Gear Bear learned I searched Blue Waffle. I hate you guys.
We told you not to search Blue... we didn't say search Blue Waffle. We said don't search Blue Waffle.
And you did it. It's on you.
Don't touch that hot plate. Ow! You touched. I told you not to do this.
See, I just don't get it.
By the way, tonight, gotta remind people,
yes.
coming up tonight at 9 o'clock, something spectacular. A broadcast first in the history of the world.
We'll be doing it naked.
We're going to be playing the Right On game tonight, 8 o'clock across this broadcast platform, wherever you normally find us. That's 8 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Eastern.
That's right. Only on video. We will not be on the radio station.
See, didn't I say that
So it'll
earlier?
only be video. You will not be able to hear a thing that we say, but it will be amazing.
He means on the
especially if you're a lip reader.
MoJo50.com live stream.
One.
It'll just be Facebook and Twitter. So
we're far more entertaining when you can't hear us.
Anyways, you want more information on the Right On game? Go to rightongame.com or watch us tonight, 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Central, and 7 o'clock Mountain Time, 6 o'clock Pacific Time.
It helps if you're drunk.
Coming up tonight, it'll be big fun. All right, I forgot the new numbers on procrastination, which really just like that. But I'll do them tomorrow. What does Matlock have coming up?
Oh, he has that incredible interview with the guy about that thing.
All right, remember, your Daily Mojo is today a Ron Phillips production.
Very good. Nice.
A tattoo of it, that's why.
Okay.
Six Semper Tyrannis. Good night, Steve Cannon. Wherever you are, Onion, now you go home. All right, tomorrow morning, it won't be Amy Schumer. It'll be Brad Staggs after a night of drinking.
Oh, no. I'll have my Doritos. I'll be fine.